like Katie ask or have them ask Katie where he is, blah blah blah. Well, just so you guys know, we came into this very late in the thing. It's been going for 3 hours. It's very possible they already had that conversation.
So
Right.
once they go off, I can go back and we can listen to, because I want to know, did they ask any questions that weren't just, we want to hear about Sebastian, about like the mom, like about him as a person, but I also would like to hear her answers to if there were any questions that were pertaining to that night, the next morning, the following few days. You know what I mean?
Katie, I find that I hang flyers in my local area for the 5 missing that we have. And I find that there are some businesses I just don't even bother because they've been very firm in their, nope, we don't want to participate, opt out. You know what? KOA. If anybody has an in with the KOA, Campgrounds of America, that might be another great place to get this to, so they can get it throughout all of their locations nationwide.
And if a business says no, well, then you know not to go there ever again.
Yeah,
And patronize them.
That's a great one.
Worked. They refused to put it up when we went in there. I was like, really?
I wouldn't shop there again.
And it was one more store.
Yeah.
Like a restaurant. I know the Bojangles put it up. Taco Bell, I think, left it on the
Lion
counter.
said no. Publix also said no, but then Publix changed their mind and let them put it up on the door. But it was like a corporate policy, I guess. But the manager was like, let us finally put it up there, because I went up there and I was like, this is ridiculous.
Well, I know, like, a lot of times, like the big pizza chains, they won't let you put that because it's considered advertising. But sometimes the mom and pop chains will. So pick the mom and pop chain over the big corporate chain, because the mom and pop may throw it on the top of their box, whereas Pizza Hut would call that advertising and they won't do it. So that's always another option, even maybe with your DoorDash people in your area too.
Well, and I mean, we've had a lot of places where we put the flyers up and they'll be up for a little while, but then we go back and they're down. And I've got some places where I've put up 4 or 5 different times. I just keep slapping them up there, hoping that they'll get the picture and stop taking it down.
Okay, so next time, Katie, when that happens, try to look for an area where you can get the flyer on camera, and then check it a couple of times. That might be a case of,
if you guys are just coming in, as some of you know, Queen Bee has Chris and Katie Proudfoot on her panel. Now, Chase.N.Crime on TikTok is listening in. Now I'm focused on her chat because her chat is very, very nasty to Chris and Katie, especially Katie. So pay attention to the things that are being said in the chat.
Oh, dude.
I mean,
totally.
these people in this woman's chat are just horrible to Katie.
Shake it
I cannot go back, so I'm having to keep it where it's at right now. You cannot go back on TikTok.
For her fans.
It
Like there
sucks,
was
I
like
know.
we had a really big
But
fan in Ohio one time.
here we go.
And
I'll blow up the chat so you guys can see what's being said.
Wedding shower.
Wedding crashed it.
And yeah, this was like a few years ago, but yeah, I heard she's really big about stuff like that. So
technically she's on the Eras tour and she's still got a few more months, so there's not really like anything we can do with that. So we really shouldn't bother her on tour, but by goodness, if she doesn't get engaged very soon, then we can throw her our own engagement party.
Sebastian getting engaged. Look out, yo.
I've been trying to reach out to her.
I agree, Mr. Nobody. This is getting ridiculous. Thanks,
well, maybe many people do it.
I'm of a 60-40 split. Like, listen, the girl gives Easter eggs for all of us to dig into her life. So why wouldn't we do this for somebody that's missing? That's a huge
It's also
fan
being
of
played
hers.
on another
So, I
TikTok
mean, I
stream
it's a
that's going
60-40
on right
split.
now, which I
So,
am watching on my
I
phone.
mean,
So
she's
yeah,
all about her fans.
but
Well,
I mean,
their
that's the case,
chat,
we also need to go after,
not as nasty.
Kelsey.
Not really. Not like this one here.
Valerie.
This one is fucking vile.
Travis Kelsey.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, her boyfriend.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You need to hit his.
To get her to do it.
Why not?
Bad idea.
Listen, I'll support it.
I mean, I don't support harassing people by any means. I can personally attest to how awful it is. But getting her attention, I mean, if we all tag her and like, hey, Sebastian's missing, share, because if she shares his flyer, it's gonna be seen all over the world.
Right.
I mean, it is all over the world, but still, it's her audience is massive.
It's
Listen, the worst thing that can happen is that
Katie
it
Prophet
never goes any farther, and
live.
we spent some time making some tweets. I'm sorry. I would rather take a chance that something might happen than always sit back and wonder, well, what if we would have done that?
I mean, I'm all for getting as much as I can to get his face out there and get, I mean,
CMA Fest coming to Nashville next week.
well, I think that the more people that know his face and know that he's missing, the more chances we stand that someone somewhere will see him and
It's not typical,
we can
Kelly,
finally find him and bring him home.
because then they feel that.
And I don't
go
think
for
there's anything
everyone.
wrong with everybody asking Taylor Swift. Just don't be nasty when you do. That's all.
That's all I did. I shared the flyer on my Twitter and tagged her and Travis Kelsey.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not
Tag
talking about
Taylor Nation, tag Taylor Nation, tag the Tortured Poets Department, so TTPD, tag Eras Tour, tag Swifties, Swifty
Tag
Nation.
Jelly Roll.
Well, I mean, there's that. You got him right by you.
Bubba loves his music and he's huge right now.
I think Bunny shared his flyer.
She
I
did.
do think so as well.
On both of her profiles.
She shared it on both her profiles. We got her to share
Nice.
it.
Nice.
Well, I
Yeah,
say we,
some
but I mean it
dumbass
wasn't
thought
like
they were there.
just us,
Sorry.
but she shared it.
I would think if people could get in touch with, CMA Fest itself, right? Like if you could just get it into CMA Fest, imagine all the artists that are there. If, you can't get Taylor Swift's attention, somebody, maybe you could.
Even if they just show his flyer.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
they could have you guys could show up with some bulk printed flyers, and they could stuff them into those CMA goodie bags that they give to every festival goer. Hell, at that you could get
CP's
bracelets
there.
that say Sebastian Strong on them.
But I think he's letting her take the reins on this for the most part.
You could go out and maybe paper the cars while they're out in the parking lots.
Oh, no, can't do that.
That's illegal.
Oh, sorry, I forgot.
Illegal in a lot of places.
Well, in Tennessee, you don't want to be caught doing that.
I forgot. I knew somebody said that it was illegal in one of those states.
And if they don't catch you doing it, they'll go after whoever that is for. They'd end up going after the Proudfoots for that.
Well, I guess we know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dave.
Well, so the reason why a lot of that comes into play is because if you put something on a car and it causes damage to a car, you're held liable, regardless of what it is.
Yep, that and litter.
That makes sense.
That's true.
Oh, you
Because a lot of people come out. Remember when they used to do that when it was okay? And a lot of people would just come out and throw it on the ground,
Yeah, I don't even look at it.
I'm sorry, but that one woman sounds like our Tammy, the one that just came back from Cancun.
And
She
honestly,
sounds so much like her.
anybody that wants to help, rather than worrying about digging into people's past, their divorces, all the dirty, and the gross, take your time that you would spend digging into that. Print this, download this flyer, go to your local print shop, have 10 to however many you feel like committing to, and papering your area. Go to the businesses, go to the parks, get yourself a roll of duct tape or a roll of clear packing tape, get yourself a box of push pins, and go to town. This is a better use of your energy, and you're furthering to help bring this boy home.
Amen.
And you're getting out of your house, getting a little exercise going on. You'll feel better about yourself.
Right.
And you could even say, hey, I help to bring that boy home when he comes home, and break your arm, pat yourself on the back.
There you go.
You guys, I am so
I'm over
grateful
here
for you
handing
guys.
out strikes left and right.
Good job, buddy. Good job. Katie and Chris, I can't say thank you so much. Cluminati, thank you so much for coming in and even, helping facilitate to bring these guys, this couple on, because this has been absolutely amazing conversation this evening.
Wasn't me. He was coming on anyway.
I'm glad he did. Both of you.
We have, let's see, there's somebody in the back here. I didn't even see him. Let me see. Cover this up real quick because I don't know. You're up here. I don't even know what your name is, baby. Danielle? Is that Danielle?
They just
You go by Danielle, or what do you want to go by?
Hello.
How are you? Can you hear me okay?
Danielle, yes.
How are you?
You can call me Danielle. That's fine.
Okay.
I think you have a lag. Your YouTube's
you
open
guys
in the
doing?
background.
I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you got a lag really bad.
Hey. So, just are y'all taking questions?
Fire away.
I can. Yes, ma'am.
They just have like a blank. It's live. They just have a screen up that says fair use disclaimer, and that's it. It's really but they don't even show the boxes now.
Go ahead, baby.
Not
You
that
got
it
a lag really
matters,
bad, so you're
'cause
not
it was
hearing
just-
us at the same time. But go ahead.
I'm sorry about that. So I know, you're really on the topic of flyers and whatnot, but are you going to get in?
Oh, you cut off. You cut off what you say. Are we going to get into the topic of what?
Are we going to explore any more into the topic of Sebastian? I mean, I really haven't even heard his name mentioned.
We've been talking about it this whole time. You ain't been here?
Where have you been? We've had nothing but we've learned about his favorite color, his favorite subject, what he likes to eat, what he likes to drink, what he likes to wear, how he likes to wear his hair. We've heard an immense amount about Sebastian tonight, ma'am.
What about where he is?
Well,
I think he needs to get down by. You just need to go away.
I think
I know that's
where is
right.
my son is the point.
I mean,
We're all looking
Hey.
for him.
Go, Danielle.
I'm sorry, Queen. I didn't mean to be.
Well, actually, she honestly, and I'm not bashing her when I say this, but instead of dancing around the subject, she just should have just got straight to the point, just asked the question.
Right.
Sebastian, Katie, and just stop dancing around and get to it. And the answer is real simple. As soon as we know, everybody in this world will know, and law enforcement will definitely be one of the first.
You notice how
ones to know.
Chris stepped in on that?
Appreciate your concern.
Oh, Chris, you are so better than I am. Like, I want to put
Right.
I was.
There he is to save the day.
I was jumping on her right away. I was like, well.
Notice how he stepped into that?
I'm gonna
Like,
sit back and watch Cheesy
shut
rip
the
her
fuck
food
up.
off the limb, so.
Your chat is fucking vile, lady.
About shit like that right there.
My God. I mean, I've watched so many TikTok videos. Your chat is by far the
Right,
most
and
vile
goes to
towards these
Danielle.
parents.
Support this shit because it's
The hell is
if
wrong
they-
with
if
you?
people like that
Go back to
wouldn't have
covering
a
something
motive
else.
to
Leave
ask
Sebastian's
parent
case
of a missing
alone.
child that question,
God.
these damn channels that support that and promote that wouldn't exist.
Well, I have a better question for her. And then I would address this with anybody that wanted to do that. What evidence do you have that supports your theory that one of the three parents have any idea where our son is or we had something to do with this? Because if you have something, please bring it to law enforcement. I'm begging you.
And this is when the
Absolutely.
persona drops
If you have something
and
that
the real
proves
show
that one
starts.
of these three parents knows where this child is, please take it to law enforcement.
But they're not even answering the question still. They've completely deflected and made it everybody else's issue. All the viewers.
Are you sure about that?
With the bullshit.
Everybody in the comments are saying she probably came from Dolly.
Come up here and say, are we going to talk about Sebastian when we would talk about it for 3 hours? I mean,
Stupid
you
asses.
obviously ain't been here
Hey,
that
girl,
long, or you just ain't
the
paying
other chat
attention.
that
You
I'm
wanna come up
watching
here and
on the
start
phone
some
right
shit.
now
Go start some
has
shit
about
somewhere there's no
600
cops.
in their chat. How many you got?
Queen.
About
I tell you,
200.
like,
That's a big
I know
leap.
it sounds crazy, but if YouTube was real life, like if when people came on the panel, they were standing in front
So
of
sad for you.
Yeah, there ain't no way. There just ain't no way. People just act so reckless on here. It's ridiculous.
They about to bring out Bone Quisha.
Hey, Summer. What's up, twin?
I can be polite up here, but I can be the worst bitch you could ever imagine too.
This is live.
Yeah, Cheesy's went off a couple
No
times.
shit, we
She's
know
like,
it's
I ain't playing
live.
this shit.
That's why I'm letting Queen B know that you're stream sniping her. And another one that's stream sniping her.
Honey,
That
that's
way she
just what
knows.
people say to get under
Because
your
you know
skin,
you
to
can
ruin
strike on
the mood
TikTok, right?
that we
Yeah,
have
of
just
course.
worked so
You can.
hardly to all get into. That's they came up and did that because you were having a moment of
More like you
just
can report
enjoying
them.
yourself and
Just
not
saying.
sitting there stressing and maybe letting your mind just be in a better place than what it was.
I probably heard his name 30 times tonight. You know what I mean? With you saying his name, I don't understand where.
And we didn't give them ammunition either tonight. So,
well, that's
kind of
something.
took them off.
That's something else that aggravates me.
To be honest, Shorty, I
like,
don't know.
They don't say his
I really
name.
don't.
I call my daughter
But right
name.
here, this just shows how vile that this chat is being towards those
She said
parents.
she calls him Bubba, and that's what she likes to call him.
So
That's her thing.
once this is over, I will pass it
obviously,
on to Queen B.
She was coming up here to start shit. That's all that was.
And you know what? If he's out there listening, he would hear her saying Bubba.
I've been watching the chat on my laptop.
And I will also pass it on to Duchess.
Your mods have to remove a few, and that was one that obviously got through in a sneaky way. So, I think the important thing is to look at the bigger community that's here in support.
Right.
And not being assholes,
Well, I mean, their negativity is not my problem, but for the record, I have said Sebastian's name several times because he's my son and I love him. So there's that. And yes, Bubba is my name for him. But
I know it doesn't sound like
wise woman
CP, right?
told me once, and it's kind of sounds ugly sometimes, but you can't argue with. I'm trying to remember what she said. You can't argue with an idiot because they will drag you to their level and beat you with experience.
So true.
Very true. So true, especially out on these streets.
Illuminati
Get knocked off.
dropped.
You done said that. Now you better look out.
I didn't call anybody an idiot. It was just a statement that someone told me.
I'll call them idiots.
Oh, there's no shortage of idiots out on these streets.
Hey, Saber.
Not saying I don't
you
think
ain't
there's
lying.
not a bunch of ignorance out there, but
And someone told me earlier it's the off season.
It is.
I have
Oh,
no
shit, it must be
interest
a
in
full moon.
engaging in that.
It must be a full moon.
It is.
Is it?
It's at 7 o'clock this morning Eastern Standard Time. It was the peak of the May or the.
I knew it by the people that were coming. We had like 3 or 4 people come up here in the back under weird ass names, and then all of a sudden she pop up like, "What, you fucking weirdos?"
Well, there's been a few that have been attempting apparently to take your audio from tonight. Whatever.
I love making videos, making fun of the woman we don't talk about up here. I sit and giggle while I'm making them videos. I just love it.
Is today the full moon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's, I got voted on Epstein Island tonight, y'all. Just saying.
Oh, good
Oh,
lord! And you know what? You know he wants to sit over there and talk all this shit, and his brother is a fucking convicted kitty diddler.
Yep.
RSO.
Who's it, Dolly?
So
Lives
yeah,
with 'em.
Holly wants to sit there and talk all kinds of shit about you and all kinds of shit about stuff, but his brother is, like I said, convicted RO. His brother is a
Whoa, Ocean, there it is.
Yep.
Red dots on his house.
And he lives, there's a red dot on top of Dolly's house.
Well, there's also this part.
Didn't take long for that part to get
Some
out
of these
there, right?
folks out there that did
No,
all
Seth is not there.
the things that they've done don't have the.
People don't even realize who they're supporting.
Well, not only that, they don't have testicle fortitude. They don't have. No, I like mine way better, and they don't carry a spine to have an adult conversation. All they like to have is.
Did y'all see what that Winky person put in the chat? The hell?
It's fine. That's their choice.
Honey, how would you know
They
that?
don't have to get to their level to.
Shall I ask you?
Get
That's
my
what
point
you do.
across.
You don't want me to ask you.
That's true,
Bitch,
but
what's
I
it on
can
your
tell you this,
hands?
you can't use big words like fortitude
Stupid
and
ass.
have these people out here understand what you're talking about.
You use the word testicular. These people don't have testicles. What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, you know
Don't
what?
even have testicles, Chris. There's no
You're right.
testicles.
So
There's no
classic.
testicles. They're a bunch of dickless wonders out here.
Actually, hold on. I have to apologize because with today's society, everybody may identify as something completely different. They may have different things, and so right. So, but everybody does have a spine. So those spineless people out there that don't want to have a conversation, I'm sorry. There we go. I'll address it more like that.
There you go.
God forbid we hurt feelings in this world.
Damn it, now the jellyfish are going to be totally pissed off because now you didn't talk about them.
Oh, yeah. Which ones? The box ones or the blue halos? Because I'm a huge fan of blue halos.
What the hell are y'all talking
What
about?
are they talking
I'm
about?
lost.
Thank you,
Jellyfish.
Katie. What's a jellyfish?
You've never seen a jellyfish?
Those spineless
what it
things that you have to piss on yourself after they bite you.
Oh,
That's false. Use vinegar.
I thought, look, y'all, we literally are in a society where there's like, I don't want to offend anyone. If you do this, that's your business. But they're like furry people. So I was thinking maybe a jellyfish was like a form of that. I don't know. I'm sorry.
No, I was meaning the things that swim in the ocean, and you actually have to either go get yourself, either you have to pee on them, or you have to go get a friend to pee on it. But I really don't know about those things. I've only seen them on the interwebs because I live in a landlocked state.
Very good point.
So, okay,
Katie.
we have somebody back here. True Crime Cafe. You're up here with us.
Hello, hello.
How are you, man?
I'm
Hello,
good. Thanks for
Diego.
having me. How you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Doing great. Are you serving lattes in the cafe tonight?
I am not tonight, sir. Not tonight.
Oh, darn.
Sorry,
Diego.
sorry.
That's okay, though.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Hanging in there.
Good stuff. Great show, first of all. I appreciate this. Chris, Katie, I really appreciate you putting this out like you did. This is amazing. Very respectful, as always. And I'm just grateful to be able to hear the things I've heard tonight. Support you guys.
You guys need me to
100%.
blow up the chat a little bit more, or can you see it
for a long
fine?
time. So thank you for that very much.
I appreciate it. Thank you for your support.
Absolutely. Hello, Cletus.
Don't talk to me.
They don't even have the boxes up anymore.
I knew
They
that
only
was
have the
coming.
fair use disclaimer just huge across the screen.
Like half your fault.
Sorry. Hello, Cletus. Sorry.
So don't ignore me either. It's probably half your fault that I'm on this island. I'm not talking
Now
to
they
you.
put it up.
Oh, she did. We gotta get you off if that's your fault. We gotta get you
I
off.
did not do this to you. She does this all to herself, folks.
Wait a minute. Now we have one of the fights that's gonna start in October and November. So we go ahead and screenshot that, click that.
Yeah,
We're gonna be
I
Griffin.
see.
Griffin
Now
coming
you're
soon.
getting it, Chris. Now you're getting it. Shit, you better get yourself a YouTube channel, buddy.
Yeah,
There we
I'm
go.
gonna call it Swanger.
This is why I
Swanger.
don't push buttons anymore.
You are not.
Pineapples.
Pineapple. I was gonna say pineapples. Yes, that's great.
Well, if you ever decide to get out of the crane, you know what you can do.
Yeah.
Start a YouTube channel.
Dude, no, you need to be filming the crane work for the YouTube channel. Duh.
Right.
Oh no, y'all don't want to hear the discussions that go on up in there.
Y'all
Oh, God,
are
no.
a mess.
That right there, that's yeah. The kids
That's
under the
just
age
a
of
clue.
21 would not be allowed to hear that.
They said they voted you on the island, girl. That's the wrong island. Our bus can't travel that island.
I told somebody earlier I was gonna pull a Bill Cosby and knock him out and then build a raft. I'll get off.
Never.
I used to.
Gonna pull up Bill Cosby.
Wow.
Chris, I used to be a truck driver, and I worked for FedEx Freight, and every time I'd walk into the office and the guy or the break room and all the guys were talking, they're like, all of a sudden they just shut up, and I'm like, would you guys stop that? Because I was the only woman, right? And I was like, would you guys stop that? I said, I'm in your world. I said, go about what you wanted to talk about. I said, you're not going to bother me none, And I mean, I tell dirty jokes right along with them. They were like, you ended up being a really cool fool. They were really worried when I started. They were like, oh, great. Everything's going to have to change. The females coming, but I was like, nope. I said, I'm just like one of the guys. Just do your thing, Yeah. That stuff doesn't bother me.
Okay,
Well,
so
that's when you walk in the office and you're like, all right, so whose heavy load am I taking today?
Right?
okay, so
And
no
everybody's like,
to
oh my
others.
God. I'm like, no, which is it going? Is it going from here to Memphis or down to wherever? Where are we taking this?
Right. Well, one time I ticked him off because real quick story. One time I ticked one of them off because he used to always deliver at this one place down in the middle of a downtown. And he would never back the semi into the dock. He said it was too tight. So they would always have to bring their forklift out to take it off the back of the truck. Well, anyways, one day he was sick, so I had his route, and I backed into the dock, took the thing off with my pallet jack, and got it. And I went into the building and found the person, and I said, hey, I need you to sign this real quick. And he goes, yeah, I'll be down there to unload you in a minute. I said, no, it's already on the dock. Everything looks good. I said, it's still shrink wrapped and everything. So I just need a signature. He goes, wait, what do you mean it's on the dock? Because it was like a 2,000-pound thing, And he's like, how did you get it on the dock? I said, I pulled it off on my pallet jack. He goes, you backed into our dock? I said, yeah. And he goes, oh, the guys never back into the dock. He says, I always have to bring the forklift out there for him. They said it's too tight to back into.
That's pretty sad.
Woman to get into a tight space.
Yeah. Katie said it took a woman to get into a tight space.
Right?
Sidebar for just a moment. If we all get together on the island and Clue hands you something to drink, I would recommend not drinking it.
You kidding me? I'm drinking it doubled.
You're going to be Bill Cosby 2.0.
I mean, if you go out there with Chris and Katie, you probably won't even
on that island.
come back
That
home.
mom really too fat to play Survivor. Like, no, bro.
They don't. This is like. I'm sorry. This is just.
Well, if we go on that island, I'm pretty.
I can't. I just can't.
And if you're really joking about Epstein's Island, when if your son was abducted, could very easily be being abused. Like,
Good point. I mean,
what in the fuck?
I love that movie.
I do too, minus the part where he knocks his tooth out with that ice skate. Like,
Yeah.
I can't handle that.
No, the worst part of that movie is when he brings the package back to the States with him. And he makes damn sure he delivered that package.
I know, like what kind of restraint do you have to not open it? You never know what's inside.
We would have had that open the first day, Clue.
Oh, you know that. I like surprises.
That old Christmas shaking the box thing. What is it? What is it?
Is Dago going to ask a question, or is he just chilling up there?
Crumbs.
Katie, have you eaten any of your cookies? I'm just curious.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna be honest, I ate way more of them than I should have.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got you, Bella.
Well, next time you have my address, Clue. You can make that mistake for me too if you want to.
Yeah,
Hayden
I
would love you
heard you
forever.
delivered roses and then delivered cookies.
Yeah, I didn't change the address.
I cried when I got the delivery because of how sweet it was, and then I cried when I realized it was a mistake and I felt bad, and then I cried again because I was eating cookies, thinking about that I was eating cookies.
I'm sorry.
I'm not. I think it was funny.
It's a thing
Well, it all worked out. It's all good, you know. I mean,
Yep.
hey,
Funny that she was crying because she was upset. What the fuck is wrong with these guys?
Mother's Day, so that was really sweet of you, Clue.
You definitely
She cried because the
deserve it.
cookies weren't supposed to be for her. Like,
I can't with her.
We have a lot of supporters here.
Ugh.
We have another question. What is Sebastian's favorite movie?
Oh,
I really want to know if they ask questions about that night, the next morning.
that one's, I don't know. He's been more into TV shows than
Like, I
movies
love
lately.
hearing about Sebastian, obviously, but like, I want to know like her
What was
responses
he
to
into in
actual
TV?
questions.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say probably not, given what just happened with Danielle bouncing her out when she asked a question that potentially could have started any drama.
What was that? The Survivor
Mhm.
show. I can't remember what it is. Guy.
Yeah,
or
I'm sure they
Bear?
didn't.
It's the interactive.
Bear versus Wild.
Bear versus Wild, yeah.
The one where you can like make selections and choices, and what you choose depicts how he goes. He really likes that one.
Yeah, movie wise.
That's why I feel like that's why CP goes
know,
on these
because
ones
in our
because they don't get asked
He
questions.
was only allowed to watch
When they
certain
are
things,
asked
not allowed, like,
questions,
rated R out of
they
the question.
snap.
Certain PG-13 movies out of the question.
Anything with like strong violence or sexual content is really what we try to buffer out.
Or stutter.
But
Such good parents.
Yeah,
You kidding me? I'm an evil man.
Such
How dare you not
She couldn't even say her son's favorite movie.
I'm trying to get him to go to the movies with me to watch the new Wonka movie, and he just did not want to go watch that. He thought it was stupid. And then when I finally did watch it, it really was not as good as I had hoped.
Yeah, exactly.
A while back,
It's the
Queen
way the
showed us
questions
a little
you can
thing where
ask
they did this
questions, hard
Wonka
questions,
exhibit to
respectfully,
go
but
along
like
with the movies.
you don't have to
And it
tiptoe.
turned out to be the most
Like,
saddest.
Just ask
Like,
them
it was like
respectfully.
4 balloons stuck on a little poster. It was nothing like they advertised it to be.
Yeah, they were counting out like 3 jelly beans per kid.
Yes, and
Oh,
some
did they get to lick the
lemonade.
wallpaper?
Yes, they did an AI. They did the AI. They showed it like they used AI to like show the posters and stuff. But when you got there, they had like 3 M&Ms, a half a cup of water. Yeah, like a 3-foot poster, and it was supposed to be like a 12-foot poster.
Well, all right. So if it makes you feel any better, so there was an event here back. I think it was closer to Christmas, and one of the bars did this Wonka experience, and they had these drinks that were made like you were at the Wonka factory type thing.
Purple fizzy drink.
Yeah, and then all 21 and up, but they also had this magic show. This guy was dressed like he was supposed to be Wonka or something. Yeah, kind of cheesy actually. So yeah, it definitely didn't turn out the way we thought it was going to turn out.
I feel like they think
So
Katie
it sounds like
accomplished
it might
her
have been a
goal
Wonka marketing fail and not just
by getting
some
through those
people that were
questions. So
bad at
now
their other
Chris can
job.
step in with his bullshit.
Well, the new one
'Cause
doesn't
Chris
have Johnny
definitely
Depp in it,
wouldn't have
does it?
stayed quiet if that wasn't the
No.
plan,
That was your first mistake.
like he did.
But I mean, we do like Alexa dance offs, and like he plays random music on it.
Have we covered his favorite music, Katie?
Oh, everything.
I know we hit that he's a Swiftie.
He is a Swiftie. He likes Blake Shelton, Jelly Roll, what's his name? I don't know, I'm the worst person in the world with names.
So you're the worst person with music. Anyways, he is an Eddie Vedder fan. He's a Pearl Jam fan. He likes Meatloaf,
Nice.
Survivor, from like Eye of the Tiger.
That's the one we want to hear about. Like,
So
I had the
is that
tiger.
his pump
He
up
didn't.
jam?
He didn't list
It-
any
it
of those
definitely
until somebody
was.
put them in the chat.
it used to be like his pump up jam. It really was.
How did he hear that song?
So what?
What show is
It's been all over YouTube for
Supernatural.
weeks.
No.
Duh.
Dolly is streaming.
Obviously, you don't go on YouTube.
That's why they
Brittany,
must have been
stop
talking.
Stick to
inside.
TikTok.
I'm gonna strike
You
your
should
fucking
just
channel
stick to
while you're live, and
TikTok.
you're gonna go down for 7 days. I'm not playing.
It might have been the radio.
I don't.
Oh, wait,
remember
never
either,
mind.
but
You
it was-
do.
It was a catchy tune.
Pay
and he caught on
attention.
to it, but he also, like I said, he liked Eddie Vedder.
You got a
of
great
course.
voice.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
someone where like when I hear the song, I know the song, but I can't.
Chris
tell
doesn't
you
know
what
the
it
music he
is.
likes.
Okay, but you guys,
How would you know?
she has
Are
been
you in his head?
talking about Sebastian in present tense. He keeps talking about Sebastian in past tense. He liked, he did, he had.
And I'm like, I don't know, but I know the words to the song. And Bastion in the background is like, it's so and so.
These people are morons.
Oh, I mean, I'll play.
I can't
play
with
all kinds of
morons.
music
Oh
from
wait, I deal with them every day.
Back to
Never mind.
Uptown to-
Listen,
Yeah.
Chris is
Love Uptown
stating the stuff that he likes, not
Uptown.
what Sebastian likes. I highly
It's
doubt
all
he does.
about Chris.
Oh yes. Bruno Mars.
He loves that song.
So, I mean, I played it one. It's like, Sebastian, try not to laugh when you hear this song. It's like, what? And I played Chuck Berry's "My Ding-a-Ling."
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that song. You know,
Oh,
my parents told me.
What a oh god.
They
Ugh.
told me it was about
What?
a tugboat.
yeah. I had to tell her the truth, and she flipped out completely.
Do you really
It was
think
a
that,
silver
like,
bell
with
on the
Katie
back.
talking that entire time,
You mean
and
that
Chris
song's
only
not
was
about a bicycle bell?
whispering,
No.
like, random shit, like, to
Oh
her.
shit.
Did you really?
And
mess
now all of
with
a
your
sudden,
mom
Chris
about
is
that?
full blown
Yes, I
talking and
did.
cutting
I
Katie
was
off, and
upset.
I'm telling you, it was a
Why?
fucking, it was all
Well, you were
for show.
out. You probably didn't want to like
Like, it
ruin
was-
your mind over it.
I'm sorry, I'm
Oh,
like,
Clue,
I'm
you have no idea.
very
Well, I
I
pissed.
guess
gotta go
these
have
people
words with an
simp
86-year-old
for Seth
who
Rogers.
told me it was about my bicycle bell.
Hmm.
I have a three-wheel tricycle, and I
Too
intentionally
bad.
bought a bell and have made
And Tony's a
cricket vinyl that
flat out
says "My
fucking liar.
Ding-a-ling."
Oh no.
Okay,
But you
No,
guys
I
simp for him too,
38
right?
years old,
Yeah,
and
y'all
I'm
do.
just
watch anything that is over sexual, but then Chris follows it up with a very sexual song.
A dude playing with his.
Sis, I agree.
Yes, Winky, they did.
I
They
No,
forgot
fucking
about
agree.
him a
It tells
long
you
time
right
You
ago.
need
at the
one.
beginning of the lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a little bitty boy, my mom gave me this cute little toy. Silver bell hanging on a string. She told me it was my ding-a-ling.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, that's like the first chorus or the first verse of the song.
Yep.
I hear Silver Bell and I think Christmas.
And then he gets into it and he gets everybody to all
See, he
start singing,
keeps
and he's
cutting
like,
Katie
You
off.
must not, if you're not singing, you must be playing with your own ding-a-ling.
Mm-hmm.
See?
Shut the fuck up, Chris.
No, we always found different types of music for him to get into. But
That's good.
I mean, but he has a very eclectic taste. I will give him that.
Past tense again.
Good Lord.
A little bit of everything, little classic rock, little country, little modern country, the new stuff.
He did like, so he liked both versions of Hall & Oates, Sounds of Silence, and he also liked Disturbed's version of Sound of Silence. He liked that one.
Awesome.
I mean, it was all over the place. He was a Swiftie fan.
Listen, I just recently found out through my Amazon Music that I too am a Swiftie. I had no idea that I was in the 1 percentile. Yeah, weird, huh?
So under normal circumstances, I wouldn't violate his privacy like this. But the reason why I know he has a crush on Taylor Swift is because I saw him on YouTube Googling something about being Taylor Swift's boyfriend.
Oh.
Wow, how's that violating it?
Oh,
Say you
my
be Taylor Swift's boyfriend?
I think it was, does Taylor Swift like blonde boys?
Aww. Oh my goodness.
That's cute.
Yeah, not really.
Totally. Travis has competition now.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, downside is Travis got a little bit bigger pocketbook.
That doesn't really matter to Taylor. She makes more money.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right? He had no internet access, supposedly, even though they had open Wi-Fi.
And I can't even. That just, Katie, I think you just choked me up a little bit.
Accessible. Open
I
Wi-Fi.
think that's the sweetest thing that we've heard.
And he got so embarrassed about it too.
Is she putting music in the background, or is that one of you guys?
No, Beverly, he did have access to the internet. They did say that he would go on YouTube. They just had parental controls in place because they said he would search up YouTube.
So
But they also had
sorry.
open
What is
Wi-Fi
stream
as well.
so
They
did
could access
my
it. It was
Oh,
open.
that's
godson when he was
neighbors.
one creator is
13,
live and another creator just
and I took it off when
restreams
he
them
turned
for their own
16. Is
content.
that a
We
problem,
don't like that. We
having a
don't do it.
parental
We
control on
are.
a
That's
YouTube
just not a
for
cool
a
thing.
preteen?
So
No.
it's a issue. But
Well, I guess it's
Especially somebody like
I
that.
guess in her eyes that
yes,
is a problem.
Talking
and
about Dolly.
it's bound to happen. Bound to happen because unfortunately we can have adult conversations. Listen, I hope that tonight has given you has allowed you to see that there's an other side than what you've been faced with, and a lot of us stand in your corner and we stand with you and we don't agree what others are doing. So
Absolutely.
I really, again, can't say thank you enough for allowing this window into y'all's lives willingly, and nobody had to pry it out of you, right? We didn't have to violate you for it. You willingly came in and had a conversation, and I cannot say thank you enough because you seem very reasonable. I've enjoyed Katie's chiming in. I think Katie's quite funny, and I appreciate both of you. So thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I mean, I'd had opportunities to come on multiple shows. We have been very selective, and it's nothing against anybody. It's really not. It's more or less timing kind of has to be there. I mean, my schedule's opposite of hers, and it's not very common that. I mean, actually, I think this is the second show that you've actually done where you actually talked. Yeah.
I do believe. I think she spoke in the first one.
That is.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1000% a show.
it was definitely an amazing experience. I'm very, very grateful for it. I appreciate both of you taking the time to do it. And being able to hear the amazing things about Sebastian that we all want to hear and have wanted to hear. And I think you both are absolutely amazing, extremely strong people. And like she said, we're all in your corner, 100%.
Well, we appreciate it. And I mean, we're all Sebastian all the way. You know, I mean, regardless of what the monotony and the drama, regardless of that, I mean, it's down to three parents missing their son. But I mean, we appreciate all the support. Everybody, not just in select groups, but everybody. Because I'm sure there's some people that want to come out and say something. They just are too reserved because they don't like seeing how much the bashing is going on. But no, we truly appreciate it with you guys. It's been awesome.
Hey, if you guys could give a message that by a random chance it could get heard, what would you want him to hear you say?
I would want him to know how much we love him and how much we miss him and how much we just so want him to come home.
I would add to that we love him, we miss him. There's a huge party that's waiting for him. It's like, so come on, we got to crack open these cupcakes.
Oh,
But
God.
Malt's for life.
Oh, God, that just it.
I don't know
The
about
CP
unlimited
gives
malt
me
for
the.
life now. Come on, that's
Okay, fine. Regular malt.
Yes, that, bro.
no, he's missed, and he knows it. It's just we just need him to come home.
That's right. That's right.
That's what you need to take away from this. That message right there. That's what needs to be clipped. That's what needs to be spread out, along with his photograph and along with his official missing flyer. That's what people need to take and run with. Please.
Absolutely, and I appreciate you guys coming up and chatting and filling us in and talking to us about Sebastian. And
Something just
it was
popped on
really
my screen
nice
that
to get
said
to
they
know him
drug.
a little bit better.
What was that?
And like I said, it's been great to come on the show and be able to have
Oh, they deleted
an opportunity just to not play 20,000 questions of, accusational things, but it's been this is where I think we truly enjoy having this style conversation when it's, I don't know, it's not a forced thing. It's just a natural thing.
Sure, because you're not in the hot seat then.
And I appreciate you, Illuminati, coming up and hanging out too. Your husband, you know what I'm saying? All you guys, and I appreciate it. Do you mind if I play the video, Illuminati's video that she has with him? Is that okay that I play that, or you guys would rather me not right now, or how?
Which video? The one that she did
with his sweet tea, where he's got, because that's the only one I know of. I don't. Do you have another one on here? I didn't know you. Didn't know if you did or not.
No, you can play that one.
Yeah, that one's the best.
Yeah, that's it. I love it. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Here comes the water faucet.
Yeah,
Cry.
every time.
Yeah, it tears me up every time.
You're so goofy.
Oh my gosh, my cat scared the crap out of me. They have a quote up on the screen. They showed
I
the.
love it. It's green tea.
Come on, cat.
Yeah.
We appreciate you guys, and again, thank you so much for coming on. You guys are welcome anytime you want.
Thank you guys for having us, but it's been a good time. Really has.
Yeah, I was to say, I know it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, so I don't want to keep you on here. I know that you guys got stuff to do, and you know.
I want to say thank you to the chat. The chat had some great questions. All I was doing, reading what was being put in. So I really appreciate the chat helping to keep the conversation flowing really naturally. Thank you guys.
I was thinking that too, Winky.
Queen, thank you for the opportunity. I'm gonna go ahead and hop down. Chris and Katie,
baby,
keep doing what you're doing, and your boy is gonna be represented out here in Wyoming starting tomorrow.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Talk soon, guys. Bye.
Thank you for having me, Queen Bee. I appreciate it. Chris and Katie, God bless. And we're behind you 100%, guys. Thank you again.
Thank you. Likewise, sir.
Absolutely. Thank you guys, and I appreciate you guys in the chat too. Thank you guys for showing love and showing support as always.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody, even in the chat. I know we haven't addressed a lot, but thank you for everything, really.
Yeah, tonight was a
Yeah,
good
they
night.
didn't
Thank
address
you guys
anything.
too. I appreciate you, Clue. Thank you for hanging out too and chit chatting and
Of course.
just chilling. I appreciate it. And made for good conversation. So I think it was much needed. I think everybody needed it.
I don't think
It was
so,
good.
Queen.
A little
I
don't think so.
change of pace,
Yeah.
For sure, and we got to get to know, Sebastian on a better.
Yo, girl, you know you being
level,
recorded, right?
We just got to know him a little better.
Yeah, you being recorded, girl.
I'm
Might
gonna
as well
hop down
just zip
too.
it.
Thank you very much, Chris and Katie, and thank you for your service.
I hate that.
And you guys are in my prayers every day.
Thank
You
you so
take
much.
care.
Yes, ma'am. You too.
I'm jumping down too.
All right, baby.
Bye.
We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Later.
Bye.
See you guys later. Thank you, Chris and Katie. Again, thank you guys for coming up and hanging out and sharing with us again some special moments with you guys, and I really appreciate it.
Anytime we had it was awesome, and like I said, thanks to everybody, and hopefully we'll have some good news here soon, and we'll have a different reason to start throwing more parties and stuff.
Right.
So
absolutely.
Well, we'll sign off here as well, and good night, everybody, and thank y'all for everything. It means a lot.
All right, we'll talk to you later. Thank you again.
Yes, ma'am. You too.
Bye, Katie.
Tori, I don't know where Tony is or what he's doing.
Yeah, it's getting late.
I really
it's 1
don't.
o'clock in the morning here, and I got to get up at 5, so it's getting pretty late. But I appreciate you guys hanging out. Thank you guys for being here in the chat. Thank you guys for being respectful and showing love. I really, really appreciate it. And like I said, don't be a stranger. Come back anytime. I know it's getting late, and my voice is cutting out because I'm getting really tired and it's late. So you guys have a good night. I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you for being respectful, and I will catch you on the flip side. I'll be live tomorrow morning. Good night, y'all. You ain't got to go home.
Okay. So, oh gosh. Well, the one thing I do want to say is I'm getting really annoyed that they are not changing. Is it hard? Is it hard not to, like, Chris has the picture up of him and his niece or nephew. Like, why don't they have, when they're on YouTubes and stuff like that, have Sebastian's photo? Because they don't show their faces. They only show, the circles. Like,
Yeah.
like, put Sebastian's face on there.
Hey, mister.
Like, I don't know. But in my opinion, that entire thing was a show.
And yours
Can't be
wasn't?
bothered.
You were covering
Like,
something else,
that was
bitch,
the
when I
first
tuned
time,
into you.
and I didn't
What happened to
even,
that? That's what I thought.
I didn't even notice the title of it at first. But I was like, shit, like, with all the crap going on, of course, and I think I said it to you the other day, Ocean. I was like, literally, You know, Katie had said like a few words the other night on something like very quaint and quiet, like nothing really. They were taking the opportunity to paint a picture and to take advantage of the fact that there's so much craziness going on. Like she should have done this 3 months ago, or at least
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
a long time ago. You don't wait for a shit show to be going on in your child's case for you to come onto a platform and start speaking about your missing child.
It's damage control. A little
Yeah.
too late. I think they were drinking too.
Yeah,
It was gross.
I don't have it on. I think did they postpone Fates? I thought they had postponed Fates, but like, and if you notice, the entire time at the very ending, when like once the show of Katie was done, Chris started cutting off Katie again. And he was very quaint and quiet when Katie was talking in the middle there for like when she was speaking. He was whispering little tidbits here and there, nothing big, nothing like important, just like, randomly little tiny things, one or two liners into it, but he was whispering, right? And then all of a sudden, like it was like the show was over that she had to put on, and then he went back into cutting her off and being loud. So typically that is Chris on the entire time, for the most part, on everything. He cuts her off, he doesn't, you know what I mean? So the fact
Can't
that
help
he was
himself.
sitting next to her whispering, even to me, just shows that it was an entire like spectacle, like it was a show put on, or else he would have been that Chris the entire time. He wouldn't have been whispering.
It was nauseating to me, honestly.
You three are nauseating to me.
And like it's a lie, especially when Katie said, when they said, what did Sebastian want to be when he grew up, and he said, I want to be like Dad, a crane operator.
Why would that be a
No,
lie?
he doesn't call Chris Dad. We know that.
How do you know that?
Like he calls him Sir.
How do you know that?
Like that's just,
You don't know
like
that.
that right there was a lie, and it went so clear. She was so quick with it. That he does it. Chris is not your dad. You do not.
You know what?
Chris Dad, and I'm pretty sure he's not going to want to be like a crane operator like Chris. So that was 3 lies in one little sentence right there.
How do you know? Oh wait, I forget.
Right
These people are mind
Very
readers,
quick
guys.
with it.
They're the mind readers.
So
Next, they're going to be reading our minds. Get the fuck out
It
of
was
here.
just gross. All of it was gross.
yeah,
Ugh.
yeah, Danielle someone said Danielle was the MVP of the night. She was the only one that asked a fucking question, a real question. Yeah, and it's completely inappropriate to be talking about Epstein Island and dingling on a whatever.
They're trash.
When you're talking about your missing child, I get if you want to lighten up the conversation a little bit, then, and you don't want to be like going in hard the entire time, and we want to know like things about Sebastian, right? But like eventually, at
I
some
know,
point,
Shorty.
questions
I
have to
know.
be asked.
I've been watching his ass too.
And the lighthearted conversation, to kind of keep it afloat, to not make it so intense on Katie, even though I don't think it wouldn't have mattered with Katie anyways, was like that part of the conversation should not be included with the missing child. If you want to kind of like make it a little lighthearted, that at some parts to uplift the mood a little bit, so that she, that is trash.
All right,
That is
this
disgusting.
person, Winky,
classless.
she's
That
pissing me
is
the fuck off. The shit that she's putting in the chat.
disgusting.
She's pissing me off.
Agree.
Girl.
I agree.
She gonna make me start typing in that chat.
Lord.
And I don't
I
type in
feel like I need
TikTok
a shower
chat. I'm
after
telling
that.
you. I need a shower just listening to you guys, and I need a drink.
Ugh. Oh, yuck.
It was alive on YouTube. It was Queen Bee on YouTube. And I guess Dolly doesn't like her because Dolly was streaming her because she had written in the chat at one point. you don't get to stream my live and talk after you've been talking shit on me or something like that. And that's when she had fair use written across whatever, you know.
Pour me
fair
one, shorty,
use,
please.
whatever
Whatever
across the
you're
screen.
having.
Didn't even
I'll
have the
take one.
boxes up. Yeah, I know. And the fact that, I'm sorry, but speaking about, I get teary-eyed speaking about Cameron, and it's been 7 years for Cameron. I can't talk about Cameron for more than about like 2 minutes, if that much, without tearing up. The fact that she just went that long, and all these ideas that people are throwing at her, where were these ideas like 2 months ago? You want to go put up billboards, but you don't have a fucking magnet on your car. You don't have, like,
Make that make sense.
you're telling people to slap like flyers up everywhere, and that you're doing this and that, but you don't have like, that's the easy, that I'm sorry. I get really, I'm just, and I do think she has the answer, and I don't think she's going to break. I don't think she's going to break. I think she does play. I think Chris is way more abrasive and, you know, than she is. But I think her little quaint like self is not her real self.
I agree with you on that for sure. For sure. Especially since you know, Seth allegedly told that freaking psychic that she's a nutcase and she has anger issues. I believe that.
I believe that as well. I do believe that.
And
And
alcohol issues, allegedly.
I do, yeah, I do believe
Oh
that
yeah, I
too.
heard
And
that
I know
shit too
people are
by
saying
another bitch on this
Sonic or whatever,
platform.
but I thought that she had
She's
said
gonna be
that.
next on my
Hey, Tina,
list.
Hey, girls.
I thought she had said that she's not on medication.
Huh?
I thought she had stated that she's not on medication or whatever, that she doesn't take, she hasn't been medicated for it, like
That's
medicated.
Right. That's probably why she's got issues. You know,
Cough
more
it up and
issues
cover
if
your
she's not
mouth or put
medicated,
yourself on
if
mute when you're
that's
coughing.
factual.
Damn, that's
What's
disrespectful,
happening, Dina?
especially the people's
Nothing.
ears.
I'm just like, y'all.
She needs to be waterboarded, Hama Belsi.
The fuck
I
did you
swear
just
to God,
say?
I just want to get in my car and drive to Tennessee, y'all.
No, she did not just say
I-
that. Someone did not just put that in that chat.
I did. I feel like I wish.
Oh hell no! She needs to be
You know,
waterboarded.
she spoke about how he was getting hair and he was stinky and he was
Did I hear that right?
like,
Yeah.
you should give
Hold on, I'm gonna
everything
pull
in
up my own
your
stream and I'm gonna
being
listen to that
and
again.
body to just want to hug and smell your child regardless. You know, like,
Yeah.
how do you not? You know, I mean, we know where Ryder's at. You know what I mean? But you don't even know where your child's at. And you're laughing and joking. And you tell me she ain't on no medicine and I'll kiss somebody's ass, because I'm telling you right now, old girl was slurring, nodding off. They kept going, okay, good night, Katie. Not 2 words, but Chris, it's like whenever she kind of quit talking and quit being that jovial little happy-go-lucky he, and then it's like Chris took the whole conversation over. And something else that bothered me, the way that they just spoke so freely about different things, you know, sexual, like that to me was
Disturbing.
so gross and disturbing. Like, your kid is missing. And you're talking about, I'm going to drive here and I'm going to drive there and I'm going to go nationwide and I'm going to do this. I wish she would come to Lubbock, Texas, or somewhere in Texas. I'd sure meet her at the next rest stop.
They're acting like he's just away at college or something.
She's like, I'm going nationwide. You haven't even gone Tennessee wide yet.
Exactly.
Like,
And you guys heard it. I mean, she said it. She literally said it. She was like, I'm going to go nationwide and we're going to do billboards. And all of a sudden, like those lighting up billboards, blah, blah, blah. And then Chris starts coughing again, like he's choked on something. I don't know. Just a ditty a little too late, right? Winky, right? But I'm just saying, like, she hasn't gone to not one vigil. Nobody's seen him out searching. Y'all, Terry Lynn, I follow her, pretty much not every day, but I follow her quite a bit. And I mean, the woman's been in the trenches, I'm talking, I would have already checked out. Like when you guys said snakes, I'm done. I'm not going there, and where are they at? And like,
Yeah.
and then they're like, oh, we can put magnets on trucks. My husband drives a truck. Like, so does my son. He hauls fuel. Do you know how many magnets they would have on them damn trucks, y'all? They wouldn't even be able to advertise what they were hauling for all the missing kids, not in just Tennessee, but across the country. But the way they just laughed, and Bill Cosby and Epstein, you're talking about all these essays and these human, like, are you kidding me? Y'all are joking like this is some sort of, I think somebody said it in the chat. They were laughing and joking like he was going to just walk back in the door. But the other thing that,
And it's even more disturbing being what she's been through
exactly
herself.
Yes, exactly. That is exactly correct right there.
And what's happened to her son.
True. That's right. Like it's like they just took over the whole conversation, and he probably patted her on the head and said, good night, have a good night's sleep, or something. I don't know. But that was, like I said, the valedictorian at my granddaughter's graduation spoke about Ryder tonight and what an impact. He's not even going to be, he wouldn't have even been a senior until next year. And at his honor walk, there was like 200 kids. At his funeral, there were almost 400 people. Like, he made the biggest impact on that school and people he met. And this has been 18 months, right? Like,
yeah.
And these people, they don't even know where this kid, they know. Okay, I don't care what nobody says. I'll tell her she's a liar to her face. They know. But I'm just saying, they're pretending they don't know, right? So they're not even, my heart is racing. Like, y'all, through this whole thing, I've kind of stepped back. I haven't really been in anybody's lives really or anything because I've just had to. But I'm telling y'all what, listening to them bastards sit there and giggle and laugh and make jokes and speak about people that have done horrible, horrible things to children, and they're laughing and giggling. And what did he say? He was going to start his own YouTube channel. It'd be called Swingers and something.
Oh,
isn't that what he said?
I missed that part.
Yeah, he said it. I'm just saying, I would rather him scream, yell, and show his ass than to hear him laugh. And then whoever was doing the interviewing, shame on them.
Yep.
Or what Sebastian had gone through. And I mean, I'm sick.
They're trash. They're trash bags.
Man. And then, I don't know if you guys caught it, but, y'all, it's not my deal, but, like, it's not for me, but I love everybody. And the way they spoke about different communities and, this one and that one and, the Silver Bells. She started singing Silver Bells. Did you guys hear that?
No, I didn't hear us.
Go back and listen when they were talking about that and the silver bells, and he was telling that story. You can hear her faintly singing Silver Bells.
I think they were both drinking, personally.
Well,
I'm sure he had to have her drink or do something for her to be able to just, I don't know.
but if he's talking about swingers and dingers, like Farrell said, if he's talking like that, what really are they into, and where it makes you really wonder.
Well, it's been said that's been out there about them. So I don't know if it's true or if he's bringing it up because he's trying to like laugh off the rumor.
Which we've seen him do before, but I have a feeling it's true.
I do too.
My gut, and I don't talk about it. It's just me and my intuition, just as an old 57-year-old lady, but it's pretty on point, and I'm telling you now.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, lady. You're way past your prime. Go to bed.
My
Okay,
personal
go to
opinion,
bed. Shut the fuck up and go to bed
if
because you sound so stupid right now.
and I don't know if I can even say it, but HT, you know what I'm talking about, right? I'm almost convinced now that he would have had no problem if he'd sell his soul to the devil doing all that. Maybe he did. I don't know. But she knows where that kid's at. She knows where Sebastian's at.
Yeah, if you're not searching, if you're not looking out there looking, you know where he is. You don't search for something that's not lost, right? I mean, if they know where.
That's exactly right.
All right, where did these people lose their brains at?
Like, I cannot grasp my mind around this. Like, I can't. Like, I cannot mentally. Like, I can't. I don't know. I guess everybody acts differently in these types of situations, but if you're
Bingo.
But like nobody acts like this, acts like that. If your child
you should have
is
just shut up
missing
at the first part.
Nobody.
You should have just shut up at the first part, lady.
And I have said from the get-go, I thought it had everything to do with his court case. Every bit of it. In the state of Texas, anybody 15 or over is interviewed or questioned when there is a custody case and CPS is involved.
Oh.
Now, I don't know what the laws are there in Tennessee, and I clean for a guy that's a bigwig here with Lamar Billboards, and they're one of my clients, and just nobody has checked into a Lamar billboard. No, that he could see. He contacted a rep in Tennessee. There is not one person that
Good
has,
question, Liz. Very good question.
That they could see. Now, I'm not saying that they couldn't, and then somebody just didn't document it, or you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But, I just think there is definitely, and this is the first time we're hearing about boots. And he prefers swimming pool over the ocean. And, like, sometimes my grandmother used to tell me all the time, sometimes if you let somebody just talk long enough, they'll hang themselves. Like, they'll literally, they'll trip on their own tongue. And I think if anybody would take time and just listen to some of these over and over and over, if they couldn't read between the lines, then they have no business in the business that they're in, like, move on.
Yeah.
But it's a lot, and it upset me. I mean, especially I've been emotional, all night, but and she carried, Ryder's picture across the stage, and like just a lot. And my daughter, the pain she had, and it's like I said, it's been 18 months. And I have not even heard her cry. It's always laughing and joking. And
yeah. And you know what? Like, I mean, I know what you mean. I've had major grief too, right? And it's like there's that pain inside you that you just can't hide. And so to not, I mean, I can understand
Oh,
not
hell
like
no.
full on letting loose in public everywhere,
Is
but
this
like
bitch in chat for real?
it's just not her actions, her emotions. They're
I
not
ain't even
that
gonna
of a
mention the
grieving
name. If y'all can
mom,
see it, you
of a
can see
mom
it.
that's
If
missing
you
her
can't,
kid.
well, go back on the replay and blow it up.
People can
Because
say you
I'm
don't
not
know
gonna mention
what
that
she's
name.
like behind
That
closed
bitch
doors,
not
but
to
you know
say that.
what? That was, I know from, I haven't lost a child, but I've lost,
Oh,
and
hell no, man.
there's just some things that you can't, when you're in deep grief like that, you can't control. And she doesn't display any of those behaviors.
Well, and I always go back to different families that have had either missing children, a missing adult child, whatever, wives, whatever. They're standing at a podium pleading for the return of their child or any help or any. They didn't even do that till the end. And then Katie nodded off and she forgot what we were talking about, and CP didn't care.
That's, yeah. You know what?
Well, gee, I can
It's kind
understand
of
why they're
wild
hiding
that
out
they thought that it
because
was
of
a
the
good
freaks like
idea to
you
even
guys
go on.
getting attacked on a daily basis by
honestly,
people like you.
What was very obvious, like before I even saw the caption to it, it was like I was like, I mean, it's. I'm not surprised that they took this time when their shit is like everywhere and anywhere right now, right? So they're taking the time where people are attacking everybody else and not them right now to try and put a show to paint a pretty picture of themselves. I'm not surprised that they did it. And then I read the caption of it.
I'm
Of
not
the
surprised you're a
YouTube,
no brain,
and I
but
was like,
hey, there's no accounting for taste, is there?
there it is. Like it literally says basically that. Like it's all about. It's not about Sebastian or whatever. All the harassing, the drama, the focus isn't on Sebastian at all. Well, where was your focus? Because it definitely hasn't been on him for 3 months.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, when is it going to be about Sebastian?
Yeah,
for them.
Exactly. And, you know, I mean, I just feel like, you know, and I'm sure they're keeping a lot of it close to the vest. If they are, I don't know. I still just go back to certain things where he is like, there's no dogs. There's not going to be any dogs. There's not going to be this. There's not, you can bet your bottom dollar on that, you know, like different things. And I kind of feel like he thinks he like runs that damn town or something, and his family does. And
Mystery, you didn't.
you know, like
He thinks he does.
Yeah, he does.
And
Girl.
as of right now, it's kind of look like he does a little bit because
I'm just really curious.
Law enforcement's doing a lot. I mean, I'm sure they're doing a lot. I'm sure they're doing like their due diligence, but at the same time, it's like, and I don't want them. We don't want them to rush it, right? Because they can only do this once. They can only take them to trial once. So I understand, and if we're gonna let them like talk for a long enough time, they'll eventually talk themselves into more lies. They brought themselves right into 1,000,000,001 lives in the very first week or a couple of weeks. So I guess with this time, they can talk all they want because we'll catch them in. I'm sure we'll catch them in more lies, like that whole crane. Like it just.
And you know, the other thing is it really does bother me. It's kind of a slap. Maybe it doesn't bother KP. I don't know, but you know, it really is kind of a slap in the face to anybody that has ever endured SA or anything of that nature. You know, I'm a survivor of DA. I was young, and
But you have no right bringing that
a
up.
lot of story there. It doesn't matter, but
and bad enough that Seth Rogers put that out about his kid. You have no right bringing that up.
put your hands on somebody for it to be the emotional
Right.
mental abuse is just as bad as the physical part of it, right? And so, and I'm not the only one that has probably
Those emotional wounds take longer than the physical to heal.
forever, like for sure. So, you know, what a slap in the face. Like, and whoever was interviewing him to laugh with him and to even
Entertain that behavior.
Entertain that behavior is absolutely disgusting.
Right, Liz?
And
And
I
Terry
feel
Lane
like
is the
he
biggest
owes-
tragedy pimp out here.
I'm going to take another shower.
Straight
Like,
up.
I'm over it. You know, like man.
But you know what? So you know it's been said that by I think his stepbrother put it out there that he essayed his sister and the mom covered it up. Allegedly.
Wow.
So it's not surprising if that's true. It's totally not surprising that he thinks that
No,
makes
Mr. I'm
light
not.
of something like that, you know?
It's just a slap in the face. And then to take digs and make light of, you know, the different communities.
It explains why they are so sick. They are sick people. I mean, look what Katie was raised with and what happened to Katie. Her grandmother was sick. Her mother was sick.
Yep.
If that's true about what Chris did, his mother is sick. He's sick.
Somebody in the comments too said that Katie doesn't want to be judged like a judge based off of her mother. Yet they were going off on a rant about Dolly and his house and his book. Didn't really do that with Dolly either. Then I mean, I don't think you should be going at people.
Listen, and I'm going to tell you now. I'm not too sure. I mean, I don't think Katie is as naive as she puts off. Okay, that soft-spoken little Southern woman. She's just so Southern Belle, you know, like that BS. But I'm going to tell you now. I think that they're all about 25 sandwiches short of a picnic, and they all.
Amen, sister.
Y'all, I mean, listen. It's a good damn thing that I got bills this week, because otherwise my ass would be in the car on my way to Tennessee. Y'all, I've never been, but I'm always down for a good road trip. Okay, like I'm not mad, but the more I think about it, the madder I get, and then the fact that you are gonna laugh, but you're not gonna cry. And then you want to, his music, he just loved so and Chuck Berry and so. Take that BS somewhere else. Y'all are going to make me I wanted to reach through the phone and touch someone real quick.
And you couldn't see it, but Chris was railing off. So Chris was railing off all these like bands, right? But in the chats, he would say them as they were coming up in the chat. It was kind of like people were like saying bands in the chat, and he was like saying them. Like, Chris, for real, you don't fucking know. You don't know that he liked all those bands. Like you don't. You probably couldn't even name like 2 if you were lucky. For real. So for you to list like 5 or 6 or whatever, like 9 or 10, like.
Yeah. Honestly, like I didn't even ask to come up to a box because I didn't want Chase to have to mute me because I was screaming at my phone. I mean, so from a perspective of being a parent, and I've also lost a child, I could hardly stomach what I was hearing. But also, as somebody who has had loved ones go missing, one found not the way we wanted to have it found, and then to still have a niece that is missing, and for my sister, life had to eventually go back to normal, but it wasn't 3 months in. You know, it wasn't until maybe a half a year ago that my sister even went back to work part-time. And she just went back full-time. But every day on her way to work, she'll go look somewhere where she just thinks, well, maybe I'll just look again. And she does the same thing when she comes home. Now, our family hopes and prays every day that we'll have an answer, that, you know, even if it isn't what we wanted almost 3 years ago, we just want to bring Nevaeh home. We say her name. We don't call her. We don't refer to her. We say her name. There isn't a day. So just when I thought I couldn't be stunned anymore by them, tonight took an like next level for me. And it was hard to listen to that. And then to see it go from, I mean, bravo to the one caller that got in there and asked the question we all wanted to know. I mean, she got kicked out quickly, but after that, you saw how it went from even the conversations to ask like the general things like, what's his favorite color? Well, I'm pretty sure everybody that's on here right now has known since day one what his favorite color was. Yeah. So it just, yeah, I'm stunned, and I shouldn't be, because I work with a lot of crazies, and this just one-upped it for me.
I guess if somebody asked about that adult, that the leg that was found is not Sebastian's. That was confirmed. It wasn't. It was an adult, but I saw your comment about the shoe size 10. But yeah, no, it wasn't Sebastian's. That was confirmed. That's not Sebastian's.
Well, you know what I kind of feel like, y'all, is when Seth and Tony went and did that, and I only got bits and pieces, but where who was it with that Seth, and she asked a lot of questions that were really good. Like, tell me about Seth. Tell me about Sebastian. And he really did, like, he laid the groundwork. What was her name?
Oh, it was just last week, wasn't it? Or
yes. And he laid, like, from
Coffendacker, Heidi said.
Yes. So.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yes, Heidi. So yes, y'all. So he went from when Katie was pregnant to, to when she delivered, to when, he really, and I feel like, hey, we need to do some damage control, as Ocean says, but I feel like it just took a really foul ass turn and went to, the cookies and.
Well, let's be real. If nobody has asked them the hard questions except for Terry Lynn and the crime sleuths. That's it. And if anybody did ask them the hard questions, they wouldn't be going back on their panel. And when they don't go back on their panel, they won't get the views. Let's just be real.
Yeah. That is what it comes down to. People aren't going to answer those questions. I mean, now Terry Lynn was on a phone call, so but he could have easily hung up on her, right? So she wanted to keep him talking, but she did a fucking phenomenal job with that phone call.
Oh yeah.
Because for me personally, I don't care what his favorite food is. I don't care what his, favorite songs are. Like, I don't care about that stuff. I want to know, what are you doing to find your kid?
Well, and what did he say? Well, he just walked out the front door and just vanished out of thin air into thin air. Like,
why would he do that?
Walked out the front door, but then told law enforcement that he was in the woods somewhere behind the house. Had them going through there, playing the Eye of the Tiger through there the very first week. Like,
and you work for a camera.
Yeah.
Right. But yet yours are just all coincidentally off. Like, hello. Come on
And
now.
we know now that you had them in the home, but all of a sudden those don't work too. Like,
Even the comments, like, okay, if their theory is that he just walked off into the woods, they clearly just said tonight how many times he didn't like to be outside. He liked to be inside.
and
But
they've said
then
that
if
many
you-
times.
and
They've
then
said
if
that
you- Right. But
doesn't
then if
like-
you paid attention, they also said, oh, he loved summer. He loved to go to the pool. He loved to go fishing. That's not a child that likes to stay inside if they're going to go do those things.
Well, and it's been stated by all three of them that he didn't like his feet to get dirty because of the fire ants. He wore shoes all the time. Now all of a sudden he had a brand new pair of boots that this first I've heard about him in 3
Well,
months.
Seth said that early on.
Oh, he did. Okay,
That's
well,
Yeah.
I missed it.
He said that she had already bought him shoes, and so he wanted a pair of boots. So Seth got him a pair of boots, or gave.
My
him-
light just
Yeah.
went off. Scared the living shit out of me. I guess I don't know what it was.
Girl.
Yeah. They're missing what the boots aren't. No, the boots aren't missing.
No, none of them are missing. None
Yeah.
of them.
I wanted to. Somebody asked, why would you think he would walk out the door? Because kids don't just leave if they don't have a reason to leave.
Between midnight and 6 a.m. No, come on.
Especially when he's never even had a history of running. He's never been a runner. He doesn't take off.
Exactly. Yep. That's a true right there. I always forget about that they say that he was not a runner. I always forget about that.
I feel like he was almost like being held hostage in his own home. You know, he couldn't go, he couldn't play online. He couldn't, and I get that there's certain things, but you know what? Let the kid play online in front of you so you can monitor it, you know? I mean, clearly he was playing online. I knew he was. He's 15. Shoot, my little suckers, when he was 9, he made his own email and I caught him, you know? But like, they said he doesn't do anything. He doesn't really go anywhere. Katie said that early on. So what is this poor boy doing? It's almost like he's, you know, stuck in the castle. To do what? How freaking boring is that? You play your video games, but those games that he's playing, those are only fun when you are when you first get the game and you're a young kid, and when you grow out of it, you want to play other players. You know? Well, and so if we were allowing him to do that in the house, like he was probably bored to death. They didn't do anything with him.
And then Ocean, like when I think about all the stuff they started listing off, like for songs and like the inappropriateness, but just a few moments before you said there's no way he watches R or PG-13. It's PG.
Yeah.
Like that I don't need to be a mathematician to know 2 + 2 is 4, and what you're saying is definitely not 4.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and CP also said that they named off like Taylor Swift and all that other stuff. This was in an earlier interview, but not rap. We don't allow him to listen to rap. Okay, well, you know, Jelly Roll. We went in August. That was one of the best concerts I have ever been to, other than Fleetwood Mac, which I love. But I'm telling you, you know, he raps too. Like he's in all genres of music. And so you're gonna tell me that CP let him listen to Jelly Roll? You know what I'm saying? Like, hello.
They play worse on the radio. You're gonna be like trying to rule with an iron hand because it's out. You're a control freak. You're gonna have, you know, if you parent that way, you're gonna have kids that are gonna rebel at some point.
Well, and it's also it's a divorced home, right? Like one set of rules doesn't necessarily apply. Like, listen, I have really strict rules at my house. When my daughters go to their dads, I'm lit up because there's things that just even when we were married, we didn't allow, but now he wants to be Disneyland dad, right? Like and I'm not saying that Seth is Disneyland dad, but you know, I feel like Seth let him be a kid. Like Seth wasn't keeping him locked inside, not letting him go be with people. Like wanted him to put the game down and do kid things.
Yeah. Yep.
I just that they literally contradict themselves every single time they speak.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, let's just be honest. To me, I feel like when they say if they say I love you, it's probably a lie. Like if your lips are moving, you're lying, both of y'all, okay? And they always screw up, and Chris always coughs, or Sadie's elbowing somebody, you know, like I just, boy, I'll tell you, y'all, I'd almost rather listen to him scream and yell than to have listened to that bullshit of a softball interview that they did. You know, that, I mean, you made fun of different communities, you made fun of basically SA and HT and DA, like you did it all.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, KP was checked out, oh, I don't know, after the music question, I guess, because that's when CP took over. So, you know, I don't think there was anything normal or happy about this damn relationship. And they just keep showing this green tea video, which totally breaks my heart. But, you know, like, oh, we had whatever colossal popcorn. I don't even know what the hell that is. We went here and we went there, and he had a full belly and he had a great meal and he cleaned his plate. And, you know, like, so what was that? Like, oh, you know, like, we're going to have one last hoorah and you're going to have a great day. And then you're just going to disappear and vanish into thin air.
Yeah, thin air.
Thin air. No cameras, but you work for the camera people. And you put cameras up all over your little camper over there, your fifth wheel. You know, like,
you have a dash cam.
And the cameras inside were not working. Weird.
Yep, that's true. And you know, so there was something I was gonna ask somebody, and I never did get back on. But so it's true that your Alexa and your Google, whatever they are, right?
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Solved murders before. They've pulled that audio before, and they've actually caught murders.
Right. So you're going to tell me that they didn't have any of those in the house either? But they love to listen to music and they love to play card games and do all this other stuff? You're going to tell me they didn't have an Alexa or a Google, whatever you call those?
Set mine off. Don't know, you made me jump again.
I can't with you. It is way too late. So I'm wondering if they've even checked those to hear what was going on, or was that unplugged too?
Yeah, right. Was that unplugged? Was that just not working that week as well?
You know, my thing is, what I struggle with is, my personal opinion is that I flip back and forth, but this was my initial, and I'm still kind of like, that's the one I'm leaning towards the most, that something happened. She got pissed off. She's probably drinking or whatever. She got pissed off. She did something to him. It was an accident because she didn't mean to, right? I mean, and she called him and he helped her in whichever way, whether it was he snuck out to go out there or he was already out there. or he had his family help. One of the two, one of those. But my thing is we've heard a lot about their marriage being on the rocks. And why would, if that's true, I don't understand why he would help her. Like, that's major. This isn't just like, lying to the cops about you getting into a car accident. You know what I mean? This is huge. So why would you risk, because this is going to ultimately destroy his relationship and his custody with his daughter too.
That's what I mean. That's what I think. Either it was an accident happened and he'll cover it up because of the upcoming court case, or it was planned and because one of the reasons because of court case. One of them, because it just magically happened the week prior.
Yeah, but see, that's even worse because I know that they're stupid criminals. I know that. But that's even worse. If this was planned, they should have done this a long time ago. You know what I mean? If they were going to do it, not a week before court. And
I just don't see it being an accident and then them being able to cover it up as well as they did. Or maybe they didn't cover it up and law enforcement is just waiting for all the shit to come back. All the, the phone data and all those. I don't know, but there has to be something in that PCA for that landfill for them to go search that landfill, because that was right off the beginning, and you have to have a decent amount to be like, and it can't be just because the trash was picked up like an hour prior to the 911 call.
But I'm wondering what the because I'm wondering if the parameters of what they need for the probable cause would be different in kind of like more of a public area, even though it's probably privately owned. It's not the same as a home, right? Where you're really on the verge of impinging on somebody's rights. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know, but I just think, I don't know. I would I'm sure it's easier than one for the house or one than somebody's property. But at the same time, I'm still thinking it's at least it has to be something more than just the time frame trash was picked up. Because if that was the case, they'd be searching landfills all the fucking time when people go missing around that time of the morning. And we don't see it that often.
And not that I would ever help anybody cover up anything like that, but if I was a rotten, horrible person, my first thing would be to save my own ass, right? Because if your marriage is already shit and on the rocks and your kid might be taken away from you, if you get caught in this, like, how is that worth it? Well, it turns out that they are not involved. Then I still think the same of them. I'm sorry, I do.
Well, no, so do I, because either way, the child's missing and they're not out. She has not searched. You're not going to the vigil. You're literally, you don't even have a goddamn fucking magnet on your car. Like, I'm sorry. Like, either way, in totality, the child is still missing, whether they and they have not done a goddamn thing. So if they weren't involved,
you know what? If she's not going to the vigil, it's probably because she doesn't want to be filmed, because Seth Rogers can't keep a phone out of his hand and stop filming long enough for 5 minutes. Can you understand that? Because I can, lady.
Right there.
Jeez Louise.
I think they were on that 3-hour call trying to decide what to do, how to do it.
Winky, there was no secret cell phone. That Dumb over there doesn't know what the hell she's talking about, and there's no secret cell phone.
I think they both treated him poorly. I don't think it was just Chris. I don't think that Katie's a loving mother.
I'm sorry, I'm not calling you a dum dum. I'm calling somebody else a dum dum.
Well, and it goes back.
There was no burner, no secondary phone of his.
it goes back for me to those generational curses. And if you go all the way back to her grandmother and you come all the way down, she didn't exactly have
well, in all fairness, Liz, he said up on Smiley's panel that he and what's his name, Tony,
in my opinion,
bald-headed Tony,
you know, I was
they
a
was
young
out
mom,
searching
y'all,
all
and
day. I find that hard to believe. But hey, I digress.
I was a young mom, and my
But I find that
daughter,
hard to believe too.
God bless her. Now she and I were on. She's mad at me right now. It's okay, but you know, when she was going to counseling and stuff and therapy, I had to own a lot of things that I did as a young mom. I didn't beat her, or it was nothing like that. It was just that.
We all make mistakes as parents, all of us. Some of our mistakes are bigger than others, you know?
I had to apologize and own my part so she could heal. And
I may go for another 30 minutes and then I may shut down, but we'll see how far this goes.
Know how. And I'm not making, don't get me wrong, I still want to jump through the phone and touch someone, okay? Like right between the eyes. I really do.
You ain't gonna do shit.
I'm 57. Let's be honest.
Act your age then.
I don't got a lot, you know, maybe 10 years. Like, who cares? So I have no problem. But I am so drawn to this case because he was 15 and because I think that she's a piece of shit, okay? Like, I'll just say it. I'm sorry, Chase. If you can't admit you're wrong as a parent so that your child can heal and not carry whatever that was on to their child, like, you have to do that. And I don't think she ever got that. Nor do I think she ever maybe had that maternal instinct or, I mean, the reason I guess I say that is because of her actions for the last 3 months, right? I do think that something happened. I do think it was an accident. And I still am like, I still question if it's true that the mother-in-law shows up. She lives 20 minutes away, but she just coincidentally shows up in that neck of the woods at 5:45, 6 a.m. And the other thing is the bus comes at 6:11, but you wake up at 6 a.m. to wake your child up. I mean, you're going to tell me that 11 minutes is enough time for your kid to get dressed, eat breakfast, and get on a bus? Like, that makes no sense. Their timeline makes no sense.
Well, I guess we found the woman with all the answers, guys. I guess we can all go home and go to sleep.
That's barely enough time to get up. Like, you have to wake yourself up. It takes a minute. That's barely enough time to get dressed. Not even brush your teeth. Not even get something to eat. Poor kid it's not even eaten. Like, what the heck?
Yeah. So, I mean, it takes, like, you gotta brush your teeth, you gotta comb your hair, you gotta wash your face, you gotta get dressed. You've got I mean, that's just stuff you do, whether you eat, whether they eat or they don't eat. You know, they might eat on the way on the bus. I don't know. You know,
I just don't see her as being a military, like, especially with the way that she's like, there's this specific routine. I'm late for everything. So I probably 4 out of the 5 days of the week, I'm throwing it like we're running out the door. But to routinely wake him up like that when you clearly make it stated that there's like, you have a routine and shit like that, then you would have to, I don't know. I don't see it. I don't know. I don't think
you guys, I mean, you could tell me if you think I'm wrong, because, you know, wrong. But when Seth spoke about when they got together and when she had the baby and even the grandparents, the paternal grandparents, Seth still spoke about Katie, like, as if he still had love for her. I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying he did. It's just that's the impression I got. Or that's the picture he painted, you know, about when they first got together. And when he spoke, it was, to me, it was sincere and sweet about when she was pregnant with him and when she had him. And, you know, he was sincere, and he went all the way back to then. And she goes back to Colossal Popcorn. You know, she doesn't go back to, you know, or what about the fact that they just said they just found out that he was autistic in October? Isn't that right? Is that right or wrong?
Less than a year ago. I don't know the exact month, but I know it was less than a year ago.
Okay. So
a year ago.
But you know what I thought was weird? Seth said in the interview, I believe he said it in the interview with Jennifer Koffendorfer, that he was talking about when they split up, when they were decided to get divorced. He had to go back to work. He was the stay-at-home dad prior to that. Katie was working. But that because of Sebastian's autism, the Navy offers respite care. So they had somebody come and take care of Sebastian. And I thought, and so I ran this by somebody else that we were talking to, and she said maybe it was the chromosome deletion. But he specifically said because of his autism. And I thought, wait a minute, didn't they just say he was only diagnosed officially a year ago?
They did say that. That's what I thought. That was my understanding as well. So make that all make sense, y'all.
I would be curious to have clarification on that. Was it respite care because of autism, or was it because of his chromosome deletion?
That's just weird. I never even really thought about that, Ocean, until just now, till you just pointed that out.
And I want to make a point, because another creator was sitting there the other night saying that he had an aide. He did not have an aide. He was not in special ed. He was in a general ed class without assistance.
That's right. He was in all regular classes. That is true. That was said. Now I did hear that.
So more misinformation.
Right. So Tanisi, her son is autistic, and so he is very knowledgeable. And let me just tell you, Alex is absolutely a hoot. And so there's a lot of things that she early on into this case that she, like, I had no idea, you know, about. And the different classes, the things that, you know.
Sorry.
We do love Alex, Heidi. She'd have to explain it to you, but it's very like I was literally, there was so much I didn't know, you know, and so I really, really, really appreciated that input coming from that. But Ocean, I never even thought about that.
I mean, he might have misspoke. Like, who said that up above? They said he might have T-Nisi said he should have said for his developmental disabilities. But I'm wondering if that's what he meant, or did he mean the autism? Like, because there's been so many lies and so many contradictions on both sides. You know, just makes you wonder, like, when are you getting the straight story from anybody?
So Terry Lynn was passing out flyers, and this has been like a week ago, I guess. And there was a lady that said that Sebastian was in her daughter's class, and they asked, you know, how was he? You know, was he? And they were like, he was fine. You know, like Well, like he didn't act, like he was, everything they said was, like, he was just like one of them. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't any special. They had a few classes with him. And so
I think his biggest obstacles, from what Seth said, was his social boundaries. He had a problem knowing social boundaries,
Okay, so.
But as far as his academics, it sounded like he was doing okay.
Okay, so if he had social boundaries, you tell me what child with social boundaries is going to just walk out the front door if that's all they know is that's their safe space, right? So they're just going to walk out the door and just go be friends with whoever, but yet they have a hard time just being friends with just whoever. Does that, I mean, I don't even know if I'm saying that.
The way Seth made it sound is the way I took it is that he was almost like encroaching on people's personal space, like wanting to be more friendly, and it came across as not acceptable. You know what I mean? Weird, for that lack of a better term. That's how the other kids viewed it. And then I think there was some, and I think it was kind of significant because Seth said that was the reason he was going to homeschool him, so he could get his therapy and he could learn those boundaries, and then he can go back afterwards. Because remember, Seth said he did not want to be homeschooled, and he told him it's not forever. It's just for a little while, so we could get you in therapy and you could work on your boundaries, and we can get you the therapy you need. I think there is more issues that they're not talking about, possibly, where the whole essay, it was manifesting. Plus he's hormonal and his autism doesn't allow him to really understand the regular boundaries. I think it was just a layered situation.
The hell?
Yeah. Something else I keep going back to, y'all, is when she did that one.
Y'all need to go to bed.
It was Nancy Grace. I don't know who it was with, but and she said, if there's something you wanted to tell Sebastian, what would it be? Do y'all remember that? And she said, we love you, we miss you, and you're not in trouble.
Yeah, you're not in trouble. Yeah, I remember.
That is such a key. I mean, that is stuck with me, like, over and over and over in my head. Like, you're not in trouble. You're not in trouble. So why would he be in trouble? Like, you just said he had a great day the day before. Everything was great. Like,
yeah, he said that there was no arguments. There was, so why would you even say that then? For him to, I think it was a way for her to like cover up the fact that, I don't know. I just to make it seem like he was a runaway, like he ran off.
Yeah. It
was a way to make it sound like he ran away.
I agree, Winky. I do think he was probably always in trouble. The kid could probably do no right.
Yeah.
With Chris,
I do have to get. I just saw some. I do have to get off because I didn't realize it was 3:00 in the morning.
Oh my gosh!
I forget what time it is there.
Yeah.
And Ocean's 2 hours behind us, so
I'm 11:58 over here. I'm 12.
Yeah, and it's 1:58 there and 2:58 in Chase.N.Crime's area. Y'all, thank you for letting me up. And
yeah, I hope you have a better, a better day tomorrow, Dina. I'm really sorry. And
no, it's fine. Listen, these are just little, you got your first.
Oh my God. That was grueling. Holy crap, the morons of TikTok. Well, there you have it. Holy crap, my head hurts. Thankfully, I'm drinking Pepsi with lime. That is it, nothing else. Right, Mystery. Grandma, you want to come up here for a minute? I know you know about this topic. If you want to add something, you can, honey. I'll drop the link for you. You guys are welcome. I cannot. I can't. I'm just sitting here scrolling through TikTok and I come across this nitwit and I'm just watching a chat like I always do. I watch chats. That's all I do. I prefer to watch the chats because, like I said, chats are the key to everything and they say a lot of things. And that chat between this one and the other one I was watching, that chat was vile as fuck. So, yeah, I streamed it. And I don't care. I really don't. Chase.N.Crime. Your chat is vile. The people on your little TikToker are vile. And so are you. Y'all were saying some nasty shit. I couldn't. I'm flabbergasted right now. I don't know where you guys come up with this. Y'all listen to Tony too much. He's out spreading lies like there's no tomorrow. You got Seth, who's just gallivanting around panel to panel to panel on this platform. What's next? Huh? What's next? And you got Terry Lynn, who's out throwing out false strikes against folks. My guess, trying to get people's information. And that's my opinion. And she's a major fucking tragedy pimp. Sure the fuck is. So, what now? None of y'all give a shit about this kid. None of you. And y'all sit up here and you trash these parents. For what? For what? Because they ain't looking. They didn't go to a vigil. Well, I wouldn't want to go to a vigil where there's a fucking camera in my face, where I'm being filmed, because somebody can't put their phones down, and I'm talking multiple somebodies, can't put their phones down long enough for me to say a prayer for my child to come home. So yeah, I can understand. Oh, these people. Absolutely, Grandma. And people saying nasty shit to you. That's right, Grandma. Absolutely. But you guys say, and this goes for everybody on this platform, TikTok, y'all say the focus ain't on Sebastian. Well, you know what? You guys are not making the focus on Sebastian. You guys are making your focus strictly on the parents. And I say parents as in Chris and Katie, because you know what? Chris was his parent too. I don't give a shit how y'all spin it. That man is his parent. End of fucking discussion. If you guys want to go on the attack, well, you know what? Y'all may want to look in the mirror and attack yourselves for all the bullshit, misinformation, and disinformation you guys are spreading out on this platform and all the other platforms that you guys go on and do all your little videos and your little postings, trashing everybody involved in this case. And the only people that have lost the focus on Sebastian is all of you. The ones that are putting out the misinformation and the ones simping for Seth Rogers and Tony Mathis. The ones that are doing the most damage around here. And there I said it. because the two of them are. And if you got a problem with me saying that, I don't care. Either way, it is what it is. What my focus is on that boy coming home to his family, where he belongs. That's where my focus is. My focus is not attacking Chris and Katie Proudfoot. No. My focus is on that boy and only him. I will speak on the actions that Seth Rogers and Tony Mathis are doing on this platform and on TikTok. Now, Grandma, do you want to come up for a minute? Do you have anything you want to add before I shut down? Hang on a second, Grandma. I'll send it to you in a DM. All right, guys. There you are, Grandma. Grandma, you keep changing your name. There you go, Grandma. I sent you the link. Ooh, okay. I'm calmed down now. Again, if y'all want to get mad at me for the way I just spoke, I don't care. Deal with it. Or don't. It doesn't matter to me. I say what I say. I stand on what I say. And that's it. Hi, Grandma.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. I still have my mole avatar. I'm sorry.
It's cute though. I love it.
Okay. Yeah. So, we're talking about how everybody's kind of lost track of Sebastian.
Yeah.
It's all Chris, Katie, Seth, and Tony. And the really sad part about this is that Sebastian gets lost because it's basically a finite piece of information you can find on the TBI website. He's 15, yep. Height, weight, hair color, boom, that's it. Because law enforcement hasn't given us anything else, and I can't blame them for not wanting to give anything else, because everybody, every social media around is just insane. Hi.
Oh, I hear a baby.
Yeah, he's a glory hound, so he's over here going, "Hey, I want to be on panel too."
Well, the baby is more than welcome on panel with us.
Yeah, he's a handsome guy. But listening to these people on TikTok, and I'm trying not to be judgmental because I'm old AF. But the demographic of TikTok are fairly young people. The lady who was up there was 57, is probably one of the outliers. But hang on just a second. You need to go away, sweetheart. Okay, go away. No. Okay.
Baby's like, no. I'm gonna stay here on panel with Ert and Grandma.
Yes. He actually said no. But, no, anyway, it's just that, like you were saying earlier, I don't know why people feel like they have to choose sides because it sounds like Seth and his team and then Chris and Katie, are separate. And I think that's why people are looking at this and thinking, oh, we have to side with somebody. This isn't a football game. It's not like you have to sit on your side of the stadium, you know?
Right. And me, I don't sit on anyone's side. I don't sit on a side of a stadium. I sit on my side. And if that means I sit alone, I sit alone. I'm fine with that. I'm happy with that.
And
But I'm not going to choose sides.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I love about you is that that you are your own kind of section, and other creators like you, who are willing to stand back and say, let's not get caught up in the tidal wave of popular opinion or clicks and views or whatever, that you stand back and you say, wait a minute. No, and you're willing to call out the people who aren't, profiting off of tragedy. And something I heard Chasing Truth say the other day, I think she was on Deets. Not today, not that they're probably still live, but she said that when she looked at her coverage of Summer Wells and the money was rolling in, and how tempting it is just to keep going with the salacious coverage and the conspiracies and the neighbor's garbage man's nephew's barber had information about something, that kind of thing. And she looked at herself and said, this is not what I want to be. This is not how I want to cover this. And she stepped back. And I really have a lot of respect for that.
Yeah, I wasn't here for Summer Wells. I've always made that very clear because I've had people ask me if I was here for it, and I said no. I showed up way late. I did follow it on the outside, and when I came into true crime, I had to learn very quickly about that case and the whole tragedy pimp thing, because I didn't know what tragedy pimp was. I really didn't. I had to look it up quickly. So it was like really easy. It was like boom, boom, boom. Oh, there it is. And then I already knew who Molly was, so she was easy. Um, the rest of them, they weren't that hard. So I just had to watch a bunch of streams of other people that were covering it. I saw the good eggs, I saw the bad eggs that were covering that case, and I didn't go down that rabbit hole. I stayed away from it. I just kept watching people that were covering it here and there after a while, and then you had Kylie Rodney, and then Quentin Simon came in, and after Quentin Simon, I was like, I can't, I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
That one actually screwed me up a little bit.
Yeah, that one was. And the thing is that just like with any insidious thing, whether it's a new weapon or whether it's, some sort of virus or something. And I'm just using these as an example because I don't see anything productive or good. I just see destruction out of the coverage like we just watched,
Yeah.
And it seems like, just like with that other stuff, people perfect it, that didn't work so great, so tweak it, and that worked, and let's keep going. And I don't think there's actually a creator that sits around trying to figure out how to be nasty and how to just milk money out of a tragedy consciously. Hopefully not, but subconsciously they learn from each other. We all learn from each other anyway. But, if they see a creator that's getting a ton of views because of some sort of angle that they're taking, whether it's Team Seth or Team Chris or, whatever the thing is, the other ones are going to follow.
Well, to be honest, I'm really not on anybody's team. I'm Team Sebastian. That's it. Am I liking the fact that Katie and Chris are being attacked? No. Am I liking that Seth is being attacked? Kinda, yeah. Because I've attacked him twice. I think 3 times maybe. It's because of his actions on this platform. Because of the things that he's saying, the things he's doing, the stories he's been telling. Stories that are not his stories to tell about Katie. Those are not his stories. Those are her stories. Those stories are hers to tell when she's ready to tell. He had no business putting those out. And that's what pissed me off. I mean, how dare somebody put somebody else's stories out without your permission? And therefore, that told me all I needed to know about him. And that told me he did it on purpose to get back at her for some retribution.
And okay, here's the thing. The friends that I like the best are the ones that are honest with me. The ones that, they'll support me and they'll encourage me, but they'll also call me out on my bullshit. And when I see people and creators, they may call out Seth because, look, he talked about the SA story, and maybe that's why he's peeing his pants, and everybody ran with that. Excuse me. And then people calling out and looking for every little detail, every body language, movement, choice of words and everything else that Chris and Katie are doing and all that kind of stuff. But the people that I respect are the people that try to keep it a balanced playing field, where, like you do, you approach the subject and you say, okay, here's what's been presented. And here is something that, they shouldn't be talking about. Whether it's a creator talking bad about something or whether it's the panel guest or the victim's parents or whomever, these are things that we need to be mindful of. And a lot of what I'm seeing, a lot of people around now are just, they're not taking those things into consideration. And I'm kind of sleep deprived today, so please forgive my brain. But
That's okay.
yeah, no, and the thing is that it's, I think, call out channels or the anti-Trump channels or whatever they're calling them now. I think they're needed. And it's not that, they're moral police, or it's not that, they have all the answers or whatever. Because honest to Christ, it doesn't matter what you do. You're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't.
Yeah.
Because somebody's going to get butthurt about something somewhere. And it doesn't matter how good the intention is or whatever. Someone's going to be put out because you use that as an analogy, or somebody said that, or, I was watching Nonsense earlier. Well, her community post or whatever. Somebody got upset because she was torching her scorpions outside by her pool. And I was like, seriously? We have to actually verbalize that to somebody, that their butt hurt because she's using a blowtorch on the scorpions.
Do people realize that scorpions hurt like a bitch when you're getting stung by one? My gosh. Come on.
Yeah. And the thing about that is she was talking about they have bark scorpions, which are incredibly poisonous. And the bad thing is that they have bug people come around, which kills the scorpion's food, right? So the scorpions have to come farther out looking for something to eat. And if there's, a threatening naked foot going into the pool, they're going to attack it. And so that's just a silly example of, that when you're on a public platform, when you're on a social media, when you make any kind of your thoughts or feelings or reflections known to public people, to people out there, people that you don't know, people in the bushes, whatever, it's going to be torn apart by somebody.
Yeah. You know what? I see it like I see it with nonsense. She gets now. I know she doesn't care one way or another getting um, called out by Brittany J. Brittany J ain't nothing to squeeze about. Really, she's not. She is like the bearer of misinformation and disinformation. That's all that girl spreads on a nightly basis. I watch her. I didn't know like the Madeline Soto case. I didn't know that case. I never followed it until I started watching Brittany J. And I started learning more and more about that case. I've had to look up so much stuff about that case because of Brittany J and her misinformation. It is disgusting. I had to backtrack when it came to her streams. I had to go back to the later streams.
Oh God.
Absolutely, Summer. She is an idiot.
Well, Brian Koberger was in court. They were having motion hearings and all kinds of stuff today. And remember when the Idaho 4 was the big thing?
Yeah.
Oh my God! And still people with the conspiracies and all of the things and even today, but we're not. I don't see a ton of people covering that. And why?
And everybody was tripping over themselves with that case.
Yeah,
I stayed as far away from it as possible.
It's not gore du jour, Right now, it's kind of sort of Micah Miller, kind of sort of Sebastian Rogers, and now that there's a few new things about Madeline Soto that's being remembered, that kind of thing. But I don't know. Ert.
Summer, it took me 2 years to get blocked by every tragedy pimp on this platform. 2 years. And that's because I just call out their bullshit. That's all I did. And then boom, I'm out. I'm out for the count. And I use my main channel to do it too.
Yes, Liz Mom and Brittany J are friends, or at least they collaborate. Yeah, they were.
And okay, look, did I go off the rails on Sleuth Mom? Yeah, absolutely, I did. I mean, I disagreed with some of the things that she had said. You know what? At the end of the day, don't call out one group of people and then be nice to another set of people that are doing more harm than good. And think that the ones that are doing more harm than good are actually doing good when they're not.
Yeah. You were far with Sleuthman. Okay. Just reading Shorty's comment. No, I remember what I was going to say. Okay. And I was thinking about this earlier because I watched a little bit of Nonsense. And, people they're like, well, what constitutes a tragedy pin? And I guess Brittany J was talking about obviously Nonsense and Sebastian Rogers and Seth and all that stuff. And the thing that I've noticed is there's one thing for saying, Seth shouldn't have said that, and Chris needs to come in a little cooler than he does, or whatever. It's the people that specifically have chosen a side, whether they realize it or not, and that they badmouth one side or the other. And here's the thing, and I always say this, that we have to have a villain, right? We have to have a villain in the story because nobody wants to read about nothing but rainbows and unicorns all the time. So, and sometimes the villain is the law enforcement, you know, and that those are always key players when it comes to people bashing how law enforcement doesn't do their job, or they just really blew that investigation, or like these brilliant people that we watched on TikTok. Thank God we have them,
Yeah.
because I don't think that law enforcement would have thought about any of the investigative things that they were talking about, even though Alexa doesn't record. But hey, um, it's just there needs to be a balance, and I think
Good night,
life.
Shorty.
Good night, Shorty.
No, Grandma, you're right. I mean, look at what Tony's doing. Tony Mathis. All the stuff that he's saying on TikTok, he ain't got the goal. He doesn't have the goal to come over here and say that shit on panels. He acts completely different on other people's panels. But when he's over on TikTok, he's a whole different person. I mean, he's spreading so much misinformation, and he's also lying about the case. About a car? Really?
Right.
There was no car. Where the hell is he getting that information?
That weird AI Amber Alert thing. After the official Amber Alert, and then that weird AI Amber Alert thing came out and said vehicle unknown. And the thing about that, because most states require that you have a vehicle information. Year, make, model, yay. If you can get the license plate, even better. But now some law enforcement areas are putting out Amber Alerts, especially Tennessee. They don't have to have a vehicle, but there's information within the system that they have to put in. It says vehicle information. So they've realized that they can kind of skirt around that by putting in vehicle information is unknown or undetermined. They have to put some sort of information in there in order to get it to go out. Tennessee doesn't require it, but most states do. And so that's, I think, where they run with the smallest thing, because they're just desperately trying to get to the end game, that it's Miss Scarlet in the dining room with the candelabra. And this is not a game. These are people. These are lives. This is a 15-year-old boy. God help him. I hope he's out just hunkering down with a friend saying, wow, it got too much. Thanks for holding me. And then, everything blew up on social media and things went crazy. And they're like, oh, God, I don't want to come home. Best case scenario, right?
Yeah.
Worst case scenario is he's in some sort of SNUFF film. Night, Jordy.
I mean, with every missing persons case, I always keep hope alive no matter what. I don't think the worst. I always keep the hope alive. Always. Regardless of other people and their feelings on the cases, mine is always going to stay the same, and that is hope. Until they come home. That's it.
That's the only thing parents have to hold on to. It's like
Right.
that kid from California. They found him several states over, three years later. I can't remember his name, but he had autism. He walked. And he was outside this convenience store being cold. And, cops pulled up to the convenience store and saw him sitting out there and said, "Hey, buddy, get in the car. Let's get you warmed up." And they realized, you know what? I think he's on the missing people. And sure enough, he was reunited with his family. Haven't heard anything more about why or anything like that. But the point is, like, Kayla Jones, she was found, what, 6 months later? Kayla, like I said, I'm running on 4 hours sleep over the last, and not all consecutive. But, we have to maintain hope.
Yeah.
We have to. And that's why I was saying that people go out and search for a body. Law enforcement is investigating, following up on leads to see if maybe Sebastian was lured out by somebody he met online, or he arranged with a friend, whatever the case may be.
Well, it's like those girls on TikTok said that his parent, Sebastian's parent, mom and stepdad having a parental control on his YouTube. I don't see a problem with having one of those on a 15-year-old. I don't. I had one on a 13-year-old until he turned 16. I sure did.
Well, and Seth might be newly diagnosed with autism, but that doesn't mean that his emotional maturity is a 15-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can see them, Chris and Katie, being with him constantly, day in, day out, working with his teachers, working with therapists and whatnot, where they would see that having parental controls and lack of internet access would be beneficial to Seth until he gets to a point where, in his therapy and his behavioral changes and whatnot, where he begins to realize, these things are okay. And, I'm on the spectrum. Everybody knows that.
Mm-hmm.
And I went 40 something years not knowing I was on the spectrum. People would call me normal. She's quirky, but she's normal, And that's because I learned mine through the school of hard knocks. But Sebastian is just now, once you get a diagnosis, okay, and you realize, okay, yes, that's me. And this is where I'm having my issues because I think differently. I'm still too naive. I'm still too kind. People, friends and family are like, Grandma, don't be suckered into that. And I'm like, I'm at an age now, and I'm at a point in my diagnosis and my therapy that I realize that there's all kinds of grifting people out there. And if somebody lies to me, if they're panhandling on the side of the road and I give them $5, if they're going to walk 2 blocks and get in their Mercedes that they have parked at the Sam's Club and drive away, that's on them, because to my way of thinking is that I might be entertaining angels unknown. Out of the goodness of my heart, I'm giving, I'm blessing, that kind of thing. But somebody Sebastian's age, being 15, doesn't have that balance where they realize, that people are out there with really dark, nasty intentions. He's still in the just naive, I can trust everybody kind of thing.
But it's like the talk about the whole school thing, being nice, overly nice, not nice enough. I pushed a lot of people away. It's because I liked a small group of people. That's all I like. I didn't want a big crowd around me.
I still don't. I have two best friends, and then I have my honey bunnies, you know, that are around me that I talk to regularly, like you. And but the thing is that my son even told his coworker. His coworker was dropping off from work the other day, and my son says, you know, my mom might be autistic, but she can talk to anybody anywhere. And it's true. You know, and I will because I want to be the person that if I can make a 1% improvement in your day, if I can make you smile, if I can make you feel like, hey, that new haircut was noticed by somebody, you know, or maybe that's a good color on you, whatever. I'm that person. But at the same time, you know, I've gotten to the point where I realize that I can't be intrusive in people's space. If you try to start having some sort of elongated, shallow conversation with me about football or, you know, politics or whatever, I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk about deep personal things. That's why I only have two best friends. You know?
Well, I guess I'm glad I'm not in the political community anymore.
Girl.
Because that's where I came from.
I know, right? Politico, I remember. But you know,
But it's okay, Grandma. I promise you will not catch me talking political up here. I've let it slide a couple times with a couple of panel guests. I stayed out of it for the most part. But other than that, that shit ain't gonna happen. That and religion, no.
well, you know, those are the things. Those are the things you don't talk about in the family Thanksgiving, right?
Right.
Just you don't talk about religion or politics, and everybody's happy. You know. Yeah. But you know, the thing is that if I'm going to have a conversation with somebody, I want to have something that's deep and meaningful. You know, um, so I'm not going to find a stranger in a parking lot and stand out there for an hour talking to them. I'm going to have a brief interaction with them, and then you know, if they want to talk for a couple minutes, that's cool. But Sebastian isn't at that point. He's at the point where he trusts everybody, and so his social interactions become either intrusive, you know, get out my bubble, you know,
Yeah. If
yeah,
anybody knows where that came from, well, I don't need to tell you.
it came from Dolly.
Grandma.
Yeah,
Well, there you go.
I still want to call into Turtle Island and just do that. Dolly!
I'd say I dare you. Actually, just scratch it. I don't dare you.
Oh, totally breached, totally breached, going directly into the double dog dare.
I always go for the double dog dare because it always works. It always works.
It does, and here I am with my tongue stuck to the flagpole. Yeah.
Oh God. But yeah. I don't know. But I'm still gonna stay on these people. I'm gonna stay on these people on TikTok. I mean, even though I hate TikTok, I don't even know why I reactivated it. I did. But yeah.
Yeah, I kind of figure that China has all my shit information anyway, so
Right?
why not? I'm just not gonna buy anything off TikTok.
Thank
You
goodness
know.
for the VPN.
Right. Exactly.
I changed it. I changed the. No, just joking. No, but I always use my VPN anyway, so it don't really matter. Yes, I have one. Um, yeah, I'm not going into uncharted territories without it.
This stream has been sponsored by NordVPN. Use code absolutely nothing off. Hey, Bertie.
Hey, honey bunny, how are you?
Why can't I comment with the names of two juveniles who both have autism and were alive and safe with their parents having no judgment? It's deleted, no shown. What? Yeah, where? Where? I know that a lot of creators have a problem with the. Hey guys, there were actually good case scenarios just like this. So oops. So those things get deleted because it's not going with their narrative of gloom, despair, and agony.
YouTube needs to stop censoring my girl. Damn it.
I know, right? Who do we need to beat up,
Hey.
huh?
Hey, Steph. Yep.
Stephanie, hi. How are you?
Yeah, I stole grandma. She's my grandma for the night. Y'all need to start sharing.
Yeah, I don't typically go up on many panels nowadays because I turn into content for some reason. I say something that's taken out of context or taken not with my intention. So I try to stick to the burrow and do my goofy shit.
Well, I like your goofy shit anyway, so. And at least this is actually a good conversation. I ain't calling nobody's ass out. Not at least not yet. I've already
Hey,
got I already got somebody whose neck I have my foot on. And she comes next within the next couple of days.
yeah, there. Kaylee Jones, right? Did I call her Kylie? I don't know. I don't know.
Poor grandma. But yes, with the coming attractions in the next couple of days, I still have to torture myself and watch this woman's streams where she compares. Oh, grandma, maybe not, but where she compares Katie Proudfoot and Candace Wells. But then does a second stream where she compares Chris Proudfoot, Seth Rogers, and Don Wells. So, with those two, I don't think I need to watch them because here, I'll tell you why. Well, there's no comparison. The only comparison is that both their children are missing. That's the only comparison. You've got one set of parents that goes on panels. One, she talks. The other one acts like a whole ass fool, drunk as shit, and drops the N word on people's panels, meaning Don Wells, and likes to fight with creators. That's a
Yeah,
given.
fortunately, they haven't been doing that much lately.
No,
But
I will give them that. They haven't done that, but that right there is a difference because Katie Proudfoot, it's the first time we've heard her speak tonight for the first time since her first interview.
yeah,
Well, her second one actually. I if you call that one with Smiley's World an interview, I mean that was a shitty interview. Ugh, don't get me started on that woman. Yeah.
and she said something in the background where she just blurted out, you know, my marriage is happy and he doesn't abuse me or something along those lines. And of course, people have to, they have to do this vivisection of that, which is like an autopsy while you're alive.
Mm-hmm.
I realize that, unless I say some words that people need to Google, it hasn't been a productive night. So I'm trying to be better about that. But and I'm just going to be straight out honest. When I first, because I was like, I was in the communities when Summer Wells hit, and I was more involved with Michael Vaughn
Yeah.
than I was Summer. But as soon as Chris McDonough came out with his house tour, and they a couple of weeks after Summer went missing, Candace and Dawn did that interview with the TV station. People looking at that and they're like, oh, it just caught caught on like wildfire. And I called it then, and I stick with it now. That the only reason people were interested in that is because it makes them feel good about their lives because they looked at Dawn and Candace, they looked at the pictures of Dirty Summer playing in the mud and all that stuff, and it was a dumpster fire. And that's what people seem to gravitate to.
Yeah, what he did with Gabby Petito, that was a dumpster fire too, and especially what he did up on Twitter. That one was bad too.
Yeah,
That's a whole new rabbit hole.
it was, fortunately, that was kind of short. It was intense, but it was still short.
Hmm. That was still a rabbit hole for me though. Even
Hmm.
though I wasn't here for Kylie Rodney, I was still up on Twitter at the time, dealing in the politics and the political shit. Yes, I was. Um, I'll leave it at that. I won't mention that around grandma. Um, but that's where I was. So yeah, I caught wind of that because there were several other people that caught wind of what he was doing, and that's how I first discovered Chris McDonough.
Oh, did you hear about his dirty cop forced confession so he could get, a conviction on a kid, all that nastiness?
I was sent the video afterwards.
No, when he was an actual cop in California.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That was disgusting.
Hmm.
I don't watch him at all. Anybody plays his shit, I leave. I'll come back later. I don't even like the sound of his voice. It literally burns my soul.
You don't like Chris? The way Chris talks?
Grandma.
I'm
Grandma, I
sorry.
love you. I love you.
I'm a little snarky midnight and beyond.
That's I love your sense of humor.
Oh,
I've known you for too long.
oh.
But yeah, so that's just all I have to say. If there's like with those two streams that I'm reviewing, really do I need to do that? Do I need to review those or talk about them? There's really no comparison between the two families other than the fact they've got a missing child.
Well, you know what that is? That's glory days.
Yeah.
That's Al Bundy and his, 3 high school touchdowns. Because people found success with Summer Wells. They still do it. For crying out loud, they're still doing Chris Watts, which I love, don't get me wrong. But because I did really follow Chris Watts until, well, actually, I watched Save Robbie and Mexico out to the Watts house, and they did spirit boxes for the demons. But that's, another subject. But the thing is that Summer Wells, like Molly called her a cash cow.
Yeah, I can pull that clip right now.
Yeah. So what they're trying to do is pull in their glory days and try to meld it in with, what's trending right now and see if that takes off. And I bet you dollars to donuts that as soon as that chum gets out in the water, all the sharks are going to latch onto it.
Well, you know, um, doing that, like, okay. But, okay, in all honesty, doing a comparison of both parents, one, it's really not necessary, okay? It's not. And two, it's really stupid. Because you have to think about it this way. You got Candace and Dawn, who gallivanted around YouTube for a couple of years. Have Chris and Katie gallivanted around YouTube for this entire time? No.
No, it's just recently, they found Illuminati and realized that, they could have a safe space where they're not going to be talked down to or lectured or, have the chat calling them out and all that kind of stuff. And I guess they found Queen Bee tonight, and like those TikTok girls said, oh, that softball interview. No, it wasn't an interview, y'all. They were talking with Chris and Katie, and that's what these people need. They don't need drones flying over their house, and they don't need to be stalker rot seed with all the pictures everywhere they go. Look, they're eating. Oh my God. Look, they're out shopping. Oh my God. And so to find a safe space where they can talk and they can explain, and I've never heard them say nasty crap about stuff.
No, it seems like, and I don't like, I don't even like using the word simp. I don't. But that's just what it comes down to. They're simping for Seth. They think Seth is like the one and only person who is doing all this great work trying to find Sebastian. Where in retrospect, he's not. You think jumping up on all these panels, he's looking for Sebastian? You think he's going to be on these platforms? You think he's going to be up on these panels? You think that the creator whose panels he goes on, you think they're going to just pop Sebastian up on the panel and say, "Hi, I'm here"? No, that's not how it's going to go. If you're really going to look, then go look. Stay the hell off of YouTube. YouTube ain't your safe haven. I'm sorry to say that, but it's not. YouTube is just a place where people are just gonna fuck with your head.
And they're gonna throw cash apps at you.
There you go.
Can I spill some tea?
Right.
Of course, it's old, so it's like iced tea. But and so it's not hot tea. But I saw an interview with Seth where he and Tony were talking about their game plan, right? They're going to do this. They're getting a team together, and then Seth said, and they're doing a foundation in Sebastian's name, and that right there made my blood run cold. Because if that to me, that screams glory hound, clout. Hoping for the Netflix documentary. That's what I just got. Gypsy Rose Blanchard creepy vibes.
Oh Lord.
So, not to say that Seth did anything, that he's going to go to prison, get out, and get married and have a whole big TikTok thing. Not like Gypsy Rose. I'm just saying that to me, Gypsy Rose Blanchard shouldn't be lauded. She shouldn't have the celebrity that she does. And that's just my opinion, because the girl plotted to have her mother killed. Okay, she went through some bad stuff before that, Munchausen's by proxy, but I don't see her doing a whole lot of advocating and awareness for Munchausen's by proxy. I see her doing trendy dances and getting her nose done, and those are the things that are being reported. So what I see parallel to that is that, Seth starting this foundation, which might be good and wonderful, and it might be very beneficial to the community in the long run. But to say that right now, because to me, this isn't a cold case for Sebastian. I'm still holding out hope. My God, I'm bad at names tonight. Jeez Louise.
It's okay, Grandma.
The girl that was kidnapped out of her bed. Her sister was in the same room. She was kidnapped out of her bed. She was taken up into the mountains with a creepy religious guy, And then, everybody was blaming her parents and help me, burden, help me.
I know who you're talking about. I'm lost for the name too because I too am tired. So
I'm
um,
sorry, sweetheart. I came up
no,
here.
no, no, no. It's okay. No, no, Grandma. It's just been a rough couple days. Elizabeth Smart. Yes, thank you, Mystery.
Yes, Elizabeth Smart. Thank you. Yeah. If you hello, she went through a bunch of traumatic shit. So did Kaylee. So did Alicia. But the thing is that there's hope that these people are still alive. As long as they still have a beating heart and the brain is functioning, they can be loved and healed back into life. Let's not just automatically assume that they're dead.
Well,
Talking
you
about
all, well, you also have that one girl. Now I forget her name too because I haven't heard her name in so long that I just push it out of my head because I don't think about it. It's um, she was found living out in the backyard of a couple who had her for years.
yes, and she had babies. That
Yes,
one?
yes.
Yes,
I mean, they found
yes.
her after all these years too.
Yeah, like 20 something years or something ridiculous.
Hmm. Yeah.
Exactly.
Hey, Grain.
Exactly.
Right.
Hi, Grain. Hi.
Hey,
Um,
Willow.
Willow's here too. Holy cow.
I ain't seen Willow in my chat in God, I don't know how long.
Oh, I don't know. But I'm bad at names anyway.
Yeah, me
Um,
too. I just
I
don't think about it. It's just it's not that I don't care. It's just I don't sit and think about it all the time, so I just push it out.
Tracy Duggard. Well, the thing is that because maybe it's because of social media, maybe because the world's just going to hell in a handbasket. It's the things that we're confronted with on the daily are just getting worse and worse. I mean, okay, fine, Jeffrey Epstein, we knew about him, Prince Andrew, blah, but now P Diddy, you
Yeah.
know, and Justin Bieber coming out and talking about stuff, and it's just we're we're just confronted with such shocking allegations. I even read a thing about Jim Carrey that his wife committed self-exiting. I
Yeah.
almost said the word, but she committed self-exiting because of his disgusting lifestyle, the nasty things that he wanted her to participate in. I'm like, Jim Carrey, get out of here. But if we don't push these things into the back of our mind, if they're always in the front, then where's our hope? Where's our happiness? How is it how is it possible to look at people as being good humans who really have, basic decency at heart? Otherwise, you just look at everybody as a wicked monster.
Well, I found the wicked monster. I did. I sure did.
I'm looking forward to that series.
Well, this one's a 40-second clip of the wicked monster.
Oh,
brace yourself, guys. This is the wicked monster.
Ladies
Now you
and
guys
gentlemen.
you guys go sub up the chat. Go sub up the chatter's voice.
I am a monetized channel. It's none of your business if someone decides to become a member. It's none of your business if I have a Patreon. Cash Kernan's family support us, and she thinks that we're like making tons of money off of but off these videos, which we're not. He was not a moneymaker. The one that's the moneymaker is Summer Wells. For some reason, you talk about Summer Wells and you keep going, you're making bank. It's a gold mine. It's an absolute gold mine. You want to know something? I've been there before, and I remember.
Bingo. There it is.
Yes.
Y'all go sub up the chatter's voice.
In the event of a sudden cabin depressurization, the oxygen mask will descend from above you, Please grasp it firmly, attach it to yourself before trying to help anyone else.
Yeah, you need like you need like a really big barf bag when you watch her.
Mm. Yes, she's back.
Yeah,
Yay.
and the more that people ice her out and don't speak about her, the better it will be for you.
Amen.
Mm.
Amen.
Yep, she is
Oh,
dirty. She is so foul. I don't speak about her. All the clips I have on her, you'll never find them. You never know where I might be hiding them. Hmm.
yeah, there's it's just the gift that keeps on giving,
Right?
like the back end of a horse.
I, I'm done. Grandma, I love you so much.
Oh, I love you, sweetheart. I'm gonna jump off. I'm
You too.
yeah. Mm, I
I'm
just
so tired now.
me too.
Those girls really wore me out. But there's gonna be more to come, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Oh, is Deet still alive?
No, I saw that she ended after 9.5 hours.
9.5 hours on the second one, 5 hours on the first one. Damn, girl.
I
Yeah.
did my first 9 hour live once. That was when I went in on Morbid. That was my first 9 hour. I think that was my first 9 hour live. I think I don't remember. I really don't remember how many hours I've gone on my live streams. I'll have to go back and look. But I know I did one 9 hour live stream and that was it. I'm like, nope, ain't doing it no more.
Mm. No, I don't have the stamina for that. I have
What?
to I have to mod in spurts for Deets.
Well, I just came back after a couple months off,
Hmm.
and I did my live streams, and a couple of them were pretty long. Uh, let's see, which one was it? Like my first one was 6 hours, 3 hours. The longest one was 7, 6, 4, 4, 6. Yeah, I
Dang.
had a lot to talk about after a couple months. I still have a lot to talk about.
Oh, me too. I've got so much stuff. I have creator's constipation. I'm so backed up. I can't even get anything out. So I just, because I rabbit hole shit, And then when I try to present it, I'm like, I don't want to keep these people here for 7 hours listening to me, blabber on about shit that nobody really cares about. So there I am.
Oh yeah, I know. That's why I did the fun stream the other day about Bullhorn. I mean, Bullhorn, she was like, I don't know what it was. I don't know if she was drunk, triggered, or having a midlife crisis. I voted midlife crisis.
Oh, her ranty.
Well, the first one was just like a 18-minute clip of hers, like a video. I mean, it dumbed down at like 14 minutes when I sped it up. She was screaming at JLR.
Yeah.
The other one, she was like, I don't know what the hell. I don't know if it was the toothache that made her all kooky and whatnot. Holy crap. It was funny, though. It was so funny. And I thought I could hit, like, yesterday, I hit 8 months where I hadn't covered her in 8 months at all. But I broke it. I broke it by covering her. So
I'm
that
sure
was
they
it
have
for me.
meetings for that.
Support meetings.
Yes.
Yes, it was 3 days ago, actually 4 days ago, where I broke the 8 months. I tried to go just at least 8 months without covering her because I said I would cover her only when she's triggered, or threatening folks. Same with Dolly. And with Bullhorn, I had to cover Bullhorn and her little funny bedtime rant. I swear she was having a midlife crisis. I don't know if it was the toothache that was making her that way or what, but holy man, it was fun. Me and we had so much fun with that one.
I love it.
I do too. I mean, she nailed it on Deets this afternoon.
Yes. I caught some of the later part of Deets with her and Jenny up there, and they just sounded punch drunk. They they were having so much fun. They were laughing so hard. I love that. I love Jenny's giggle. Queen
Oh my
Bee
god.
has a great giggle. I love her laugh. They're just, and those are my top ones. Okay, I promised I would jump down, and I'm done with the Midwest goodbye. So I love you, Eric.
I love you too, Grandma. Thanks for coming up.
Okay, talk to you soon.
Okay. Good night. Colleen Stan, also known as Girl in the Box, was kidnapped by a man while his wife allowed it. He initially kept her bound and in the basement of the home he shared with his family 7 years. You know, Burnett, Colleen Stan, why does that name sound so? I have to look that up because that name sounds familiar to me. Because it's vaguely familiar to the story of Boy in the Box as well. So it's not the same thing. It's just the title. You know, the girl in the box, and you have Boy in the Box. Hi back, Grandma. Okay, guys, I'm gonna shut this down. I'm gonna go to bed because I gotta be up in 6 hours. I don't know what time is this. Let's see, it's 1 here. Yeah, I gotta be up in 6 hours. So I'm gonna shut this down. We might be back if the girls from TikTok go live again and start talking trash about Chris and Katie. So yeah. Now, if you want to see what was going through their chat, I'll give you a little secret. If you're watching from your phone or your tablet, just flip it to the side, full screen it, and just zoom in on your screen. Now, there might be a couple of times where I paused a little bit because there was a name that went through that chat that I did not want to mention, and I'm still not going to mention it, and it pissed me off. And I'm gonna flat out say the name. It came from that woman Winky in her chat that put it in there, that name. And if you guys can figure it out, good for you. If you can't, well, get better glasses. Other than that, I'm out of here. So, you guys have a good night. I will see you all in the near future. Or, in Earth's words, that means next round. Love you guys. Thanks for hanging out. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.